Middle of the week already, man. Here we are, week 3 of the National Football League, almost here tomorrow night. And you've got, what is it, Dolphins in Orchard Park. The man with the big S on the middle of his chest. And that, of course, is Josh Allen, the best and most talented quarterback in all pro football, will be hosting the Miami Dolphins. I mean, look at this already, man. We're right here, and it's week 3. We're going into it. You know how the offseason, we were kind of like, this thing went fast? The NFL season, college football, by the way, too, this weekend. And this week, it is Rams. Yes, sir, baby. It is Rams. We have Xander at 3:30. It is Battle Royale. That'll be at 4:30. It'll be, of course, Philly 500 and our friend. We will have Mark Holmes, Dallas Cowboy Honk, and the legendary Pro Football Hall of Famer. One of the greatest players in the history of the game, played over 20 years in the National Football League. He's been friends with our family for a long time. He's part of the broadcast team for the Rams. The legendary Jackie Slater will join us, and he will be with us. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time. He is one of the top 10 greatest offensive tackles in pro football history. 20 years that man played, and truly one of the greatest of all time. Incredible. All right. So, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We got a full show for you. I want to hit up a little bit. Angelo was spectacular yesterday. Holy cow. Was he great and to the point. That's what I love about getting guys like that on. You're right. Last year, he picked 5 wins. He's not going to be wrong this year. He's not. And you know what you're getting out of Philadelphia right now? A lot of KP defending. Oh, it's not him. It's Jalen Hurts. It's not him. Well, it is him. And we'll explain here in a minute why it is him. And it's him because it has to be him. And there's an example of it from a year ago. Folks, I want you to do me a favor. Stop expecting to have a high-powered offense. Stop it. Stop expecting more from your star players. You're not going to have the offense that they want. You're not going to get it ever in the history as long as Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of your team. It is Jalen Hurts. But you're going to have to deal with it. You're never going to be an offense that's going to look with the aesthetic eye as one of the top offenses in pro football. Let me give you the example of that, okay? Okay, wait a minute. You see this guy? It is not the same shit every day, douchebag, if you wait and listen. Here's where we're going with it, okay? They build an offense to what the quarterback is. And the quarterback wins, and they've built it his way. You're never going to be a consistent passing team. You're never going to have consistency when it comes to the passing game. No matter if you have A.J. Brown, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Devontae Smith, you're never going to have it. It's okay. You have tailored an offense that fits Jalen Hurts to a T. This is what it is. Now, Sills, is it bad? No, because you win. You're never going to put 45 points on the board. You're never going to be a 30-point scoring team every week. You're just not. He doesn't have that skill set. The Eagles are smart enough to know how to build a football team that fits his perfect winning numbers. I'm not ripping the kid. I'm not ripping him. This is not a rip. This is actually kudos to Howie, to Jalen. Where they make mistakes sometimes is the hiring of the coordinators. This is not a rip. I'm not going to make you guys feel good about yourselves. I'm telling you, they build winning football. That's winning football. You're not going to have a consistent passing game. Okay. But I'm going to have consistent winning, right? If we're not going to have consistent winning, if we're not going to have consistent passing, but we have consistent winning, is that a trade-off? Yes. Okay. I'll take the winning. We're not going to be a consistent team that's going to put 29 points up a game. Are we winning? Yes. Okay. I'll compensate for that, and I'll overlook that. He's not one of the more talented guys in the pocket. That's evident. That is evident. He's clearly not one of the most talented passers. He misses reads all the time, but that's okay. Now, the problem with your football team right now in 8 quarters of play, your offensive line is not playing well, and Barkley's not running the ball. Hurts has had to run the ball to get this. Hurts has had to pick up for the run game's problems, not the passing game. He's had to pick up for the run game issues. One of the reasons why you are one of the better running teams in the league is not because of Saquon Barkley. Barkley's been average. He looks like New York Giants Saquon Barkley. Listen, folks, it's their formula for winning, and it's successful. You're not going to have high-powered offenses ever in Philadelphia. That's not what it's going to be. He is that. That right there is who he is. Okay? You see this right here? Spit will try to tell you that the offense will get better. It's never gotten better. And it never will. You improved your football team, dickhead, because of Barkley a year ago, not Jalen Hurts. You improved it because of Saquon. The passing game is the same as it was in 23, except they came up and said, don't turn the ball over. We'll run the ball and we'll win. And they are. This is not made up. This is exactly what's going on. Bro, you have eagle-tainted eyes and you don't see through your own bullshit. Okay? This is not I'm not going to tell you any more to make yourself feel better. See, pretty good scoring. You're never going to be a consistent scoring, high-powered offensive football team. Did you not hear me, Easy? That is not what I said. You will never be a consistent football team as a high-powered offense. End of story. Get it? And by the way, you were number 1 a year ago, or what were you in total offense? Third? Your passing offense was 29th. Now it's 31. You're not getting better. Your run offense has come down a bit. That's why the offense doesn't look proficient. Bro, people, your passing game is the same as a year ago. Nothing's changed so far in 8 quarters. As a matter of fact, 17 regular season games and 2 games so far this year, it looks the same. Okay, get this. You know why it's getting worse? Because the run game is not up to par right now. Nothing has changed. The passing game is the same. You're making it seem like you have a high-powered passing offense. You don't. Again, folks, you were not in the top 10 a year ago in offense because of your passing game. You were in the top 10 because of your running game. Plain and simple. You were 29 a year ago. Now you're 31. I'm going to give you the examples here. And by the way, I'm going to give you the trends. I like 3 games on a trend, but this is 2 games on a trend. Guys, hit the like button. By the way, it's a brilliant way that the Eagles are doing this. Here's an example. Kellen Moore has got a horrible New Orleans Saints roster. He inherited a horrible offensive football team. He inherited an awful roster, correct? Well, what is he doing? He is throwing the ball 46 times. He's building an offense around quarterbacks who throw the ball, no matter how good they are. Spencer Rattler's not a good runner. So he's building an offense around a quarterback who personally is not very good. That's a terrible roster. There's a reason they're a terrible roster. They're in salary cap hell. He inherited a bad team. What is he doing? He ain't running the ball. He's throwing the football. He threw it 46 times. Why? That's the quarterback skill set. That's not Jalen Hurts' skill set. Hey, why didn't he do this? Ask yourself this. Why did Kellen Moore just take that offense that he had in Philly and the fundamentals and the formations and all that and implement it in Kansas or New Orleans? Because the quarterback doesn't do those things. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, folks. This is what he is. And Kevin Patullo has to deal with who Hurts is. Can I tell you the biggest problem with Kevin Patullo? He doesn't know how to put an offense together like Nick doesn't for a RPO-style quarterback. Shane Steichen, he is showing you how to do it. If the running game doesn't pick up, it's over, in my opinion. It's nothing to fall back on like last season. And that guy has thrown a team to a win, sadly. He would have to throw to a team. He would have to throw for a win. You're directly right, John. If this running game doesn't pick up, and it's got to pick up, and I think the injury to Landon Dickerson, there is no doubt of what you're saying. A year ago, here, to John's point, John, figure this out. A year ago, when Jalen Hurts was turning the – John, you tell me. We'll answer you. John, when they were turning the ball over in the first 4 games, Jalen Hurts was a turnover machine. They fell back on the run game, right? And the run game was historic, correct? Well, the run game is so far not historic. Now, could that change? Obviously. When he gets healthy, all right? When he gets healthy, I'm talking Landon Dickerson. Will the run game improve? I completely agree. The run game will improve if I'll make this point to you. If Landon Dickerson goes down, your entire offense will implode. Your offense will implode. If you can't run the ball this year, how many people agree with this? If your offense and your run game does not improve when it comes to running the ball, your offense will improve because your passing game is terrible. Yes or no? And get this, you don't have anything in the last 2 years to tell me that your passing game can be, as I started the program off, consistent. You're last in the league. Last year, you were the 4th worst passing team. Why? And get this, I'm going to go with what you did. There is nothing that I'm saying that is made up. Nothing. Well, Sills, we ran the ball because, well, we had a historic team and we didn't have to do anything else. Okay. Well, now that your running game's average, you can't throw the ball. Okay, you can't. Why is Dickerson playing? Well, if you don't put Dickerson in, you're going to have Toth and Steen. That's not going to get it done. Imagine the numbers would be like if we didn't have two number one receivers. Absolutely true. Kenzo, great take. If you didn't have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, you'd be the worst passing team in the league. If you had Josh Allen or if you had Patrick Mahomes' receivers, the Thornton guy and Schuster, you'd be the worst passing team in the league. Right now, you're the second worst passing team in the league with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Get this. You're the second worst passing team in pro football. Last year, you were the fourth. What's getting better? Where is it getting better? Nick refuses to self-scout. Under center, run, pistol, run, shotgun, throw. If I can see it, any pro DC can see it. Terrible scheming, coordination. Hey, King. And that's exactly what Matt Eberflus, and that's exactly what you saw with Steve Spagnuolo last week. Look, you know what this is? This is an implosion that's about to happen. I think this year it may happen earlier than it did in 23. I may be wrong. I wasn't wrong in 23. And I was shocked that I'm not going to start doubting the defense anymore. I'm doubting your offense now. That's where all your money is, too. I'm doubting your offense. I'm not doubting Vic Fangio. I'm doubting your offensive guys. This is what I'm doubting. Vic, I'm not. Vic is showing that he's making chicken. He's showing that he's making chicken soup out of chicken shit. I am not questioning the defensive guy over there. You guys are right. Vic is a magician. I'm questioning your offense. Nobody cares about the passing. They don't respect Hurts. They're stopping the run, and it's working. And teams are just dropping passes like 23. It's identical. John, I am flat out telling you, if that running game, this is in the run game. It's not the pass game. The pass game is not going to improve. Because the only way the pass game improves is, guess what? If the run game improves. Plain and simple. Why? Because that's what happened a year ago. You were able to lean, John, on the run game, were you not? Hey, John, after the first 4 games, actually, do you not agree? They realized that the run game or the pass game was not going anywhere, so they went to the run game, right? Well, you don't have the run game right now. If that run game doesn't get better, you are in for an implosion. Kevin Petula's not going to scheme up because he can't. Why can't he? Because the quarterback is not a drop-back, consistent passer. That's not what he is. And that's who he'll never be. Okay? Jalen Hurts had success. Remember something in 22. How many people, tell me, how many yards did Miles Sanders have that year? How many touchdowns, too? It was 4th all-time in Eagle history for a single season, Miles Sanders. You realize that? He had 1,300 yards rushing and something like 12 touchdowns. Between him and Hurts, they had like 25 TDs and almost 3,000 yards 2,000 yards rushing, right? Well, if you don't have that dynamic, John, how about this? He didn't have 1,100 yards. That was DeAndre Swift. He had like 1,290 something. Okay? Almost had 1,300 yards. That's 4th all time in Eagle history. You make it sound like he didn't have, that guy had a Pro Bowl season. So here, we're going to go by the number, how about this? We're going to go by the trends here in a minute. We put down trends on what you're doing right now. Now, look, your coordinator said it yesterday. It's a week-to-week league. Nothing is set in stone. The Eagles a year ago were a week-to-week team until they started figuring out we're going to run the ball. Okay? Right? Well, get this. Well, then, if he's a dual-threat quarterback, why in the world would I just turn him into a passing quarterback? Jalen Hurts is compensating for the lack of running game and at the expense of the passing game right now. Do you realize that? Like I said, and you're right, whoever wrote this, there is no doubt if you didn't have A.J. Brown on this football team and you didn't have Devontae, God knows what this thing would look like. Holy shit. Thank God you got great players. And they are great players. They're more decoys right now. You're not going to get it going in the passing game. Hurts ain't figuring shit out. Kevin Patullo, he's not going to scheme up anything different. Jalen Hurts is limited. So they built a limited offense. Limited passing routes, limited run plays, and it works. Why? That guy couldn't go through a progression playbook like Matthew Stafford, or couldn't go through a playbook like Tom Brady or Mahomes. Are you crazy? That guy has no way going to be able to run offenses. He could never run an offense like that. He couldn't fucking run it at Alabama. That's okay. That's not how they built it. They built it with great football players and limited offense. You guys go like this. Sills, it's awful predictable. It is. That's by design. They've designed it that. Don't you think that's all by design? Right? All by design. If Hurts is an RPO quarterback, why does this organization keep hiring drop-back coordinators? Hire a coordinator that fits Hurts' skill set. You know, I think it's harder to find the RPO guy because there's so few of those guys. I think there's fewer of the RPO guys like Jalen than there are the drop-back guys. Kellen Moore's a drop-back guy. Look what he's doing now. He's not an RPO dude. By the way, they didn't run RPOs. He got let off the hook a year ago because the O-line was so dominant, Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is not a great coach. You want to know who's overrated? Kellen Moore. What did he do a year ago to earn that job? What? Turn and give it to Barkley? The passing numbers stunk. The great execution in the O-line. Kellen Moore stinks. He will flop on his face in New Orleans unless he gets a really great quarterback in there. By the way, that's who he is. He doesn't want a Jalen Hurts. Shane Steichen, let me show you this about Shane Steichen. Has Shane Steichen ever had so far in Indianapolis? Has he had a drop-back quarterback in Indianapolis? He drafted an RPO-style quarterback in Anthony Richardson. He brought another guy in Daniel Jones. You think there's any coincidence to that? That's the style of quarterback that he wants to build an offense around? It's not so much Daniel Jones. That's the style of quarterback that he's trying to construct an offensive attack around. Or if that's the case, they would have signed Aaron Rodgers. Or they would have gotten a drop-back dude. That's not what Shane wants. He wants a guy to be able to get out in the perimeter and be able to do that. Jalen depends on talent. There's nothing wrong with that. The talent doesn't depend on Jalen. I don't know so much that's true. Kenzo, he does a really good job with the talent around him. But it's a limited pass offense. It's just limited because he's limited. but that's okay. Hey, if you know what your strengths are and you know who you are and you build a championship football team around that, why are you moaning? This is not a criticism of Jalen. It goes back to, is he a top 5 guy in skill? Absolutely not. He's not a top 15 guy. But when they put an offense around him, can he execute the offense they build around him? Absolutely. He can execute it, and he does. How about this? Let me put it to you this way. Jalen Hurts won a football game with 100 yards in offense. You tell me if you think he can't fucking figure it out. Sills, keep cooking. We're all lucky to witness your daily sermon. We all know Jalen is a carried player. We all need Tanner to get back like today. Listen, Pump, I love you, man. Those are nice comments. However, Tanner McKee's not winning the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is winning the Super Bowl because that's how you build a team. Howie Roseman should get flowers for building the team around the guy. They don't build them. Get this. You know the comment that I keep hearing people say in Philly? They're not building the team around Jalen Hurts' strengths. They're building the team around Jalen Hurts' weaknesses. There's a difference. I wish most teams did. Here, what do you think the weakness is in Lamar Jackson's game? What do you think it is? I think it's his taking off and running and not sitting in the pocket and relying on players around him more. Jalen relies on players more around him, and he's comfortable doing that. Lamar's not. You got Derrick Henry. You got Zay Flowers. You got Andrews. You got that O-line. You got everything at your hands. He doesn't use his talent around him as good as Jalen does. There's the difference in the quarterbacks. That's the difference. That's right, Kyle. Hurts is smarter. Jalen is smarter. They build that football team around Jalen Hurts' weaknesses, not his strengths. Because if that's the case, there'd be more RPOs. So you know what Jalen has done? You know these off-script plays that he's running? That's all him. That has nothing to do with Kevin Patullo. Hey, let me ask you guys this question. Kellen Moore didn't run a lot of design plays last year when it came to running, did he? Or am I wrong? Did anybody see him designing plays for him to run? What do you think? Anybody? Was there a lot of run design plays for Jalen? I didn't think so because Barkley was so dominant, right? I'm not saying Jalen didn't take off when he needed, but Jalen wasn't extending plays early like he is now. That's right. It was more the draw. Correct. That's right. That's correct. Okay? Remember, like I said, look at Shane Steichen in Indianapolis. He's building a team around Daniel Jones. Kellen Moore's got a horrible football team. He is a horrible – he's not a horrible coach, but he didn't bring nothing to the Eagle offense a year ago. He had great talent and a running back. And he had the smarts to figure it out. We got a boutique and offense to hurt his weaknesses. And they did. And they won the Super Bowl. You're never going to get a consistent offensive football team from the pocket. That's okay. And they haven't, get this, and they haven't play called that. They haven't play called it this year, and they haven't play called it a year ago. They have built this team around his weakness. Run the ball, efficient, don't turn it over, and you're going to win a lot of games because there's a lot of talent on that football team. Plain and simple. Okay? Plain and simple. Big Sills, I'm not sugarcoating nothing for Patullo. I don't care if it's only week 2. He's been in the, that's a super point. That is a great point. Dean, you are a good football watcher and you have good IQ. I see people in here and I hear people And I hear Xander, John, myself, and everyone. It's only 2 weeks. No. It's 5 years. He was hired, and they told us that Petula was hired because he's been in the building for 5 years. Deem, you're right. So you're going to give him a hall pass? We were told, well, it'll be a seamless transition because he was there building it with Kellen a year ago. Were we not told that? Or are you going to forget? Hey, Dean, this is a great take. You know why? Because you've called everybody out in here. The premise in hiring him and the premise of elevating him was because he's been in the building for 4 years. You folks said that it would be a seamless transition because he was at the heels of the head coach and Kellen Moore a year ago. That, hey, he was there. He's not been in the building. He's been here 4-5 years now. And now all of a sudden, it's only 2 weeks. Which is it? Which is it? He's been here 5 years? That's how he got the job? And it's been only 2 weeks. Well, which is it? Holy shit. And he was stepped over for Brian Johnson. Okay? I mean, you got to be kidding me. There's a reason he's been passed over twice. Wait a second now. And you know when people go, this is not all Kevin Petullo. No, it's not. This is how they want to build the offense. Because Jalen Hurts is limited. Right. I'm concerned with Petullo, but I'll give him and the offense 2 more weeks. If we don't improve, he needs to go. Okay. I don't have a problem with that take. Reporters should start asking Petullo really tough questions. I don't think you need to go down that lane yet. I think what we just heard from the last guy in 2 more weeks. Okay? By the way, I wrote this down. I think the Ram game, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a football game that's going to, what did I write down? It's a validation game. Is the defense that good? Or do you see the defense having great upside? And is the offense that bad? This will be I think this is a validation game. The Rams game this weekend is a validation game. Yes, I completely agree. Yes. Hurts is limited in Philly. Can't see what he would be on another team. Listen, another team would have to build the team the same way around you can't plug and play quarterbacks in today's NFL. Everybody's got a different skill set. Here, let me give you what a quarterback is in my book and what Bill Walsh told us. A quarterback is like a leaf on a tree. Every leaf is different. So every offense is built differently. Every team, and by the way, people miss on personnel on other teams. People hit on personnel. You're at the behest of a lot of it to do with the organization getting great talent around you. Okay, worst case scenario, the next 2 weeks offense is either stagnant or having gotten worse. They're not going to let go of Kevin Petullo. That would validate that they were wrong again in hiring another coordinator. They're not doing that. You'd get more influence with Sirianni being involved. We've already seen Sirianni. By the way, here's what's happened and what you're looking for. Sirianni takes over more of the play calling. It was 2-4. Then he gave it to Shane Steichen. They were 11 and what was it? They were 11-6 when he was involved with Brian Johnson. And you got the playoff. He's 13-11 as a play calling head coach when he gets the responsibility. That record that you guys fucking go, how about this one? He's 13-11 when he has influence over the play calling. 13-11. 11-6 with Brian when things started going south, and 2-4 when he first got here. You tell me if you want him involved with the play calling. You're barely 500, and you're 0-1 in the playoffs. Put that in your hat. That's who he is. 2-4. Remember? Xander and I, when we first started working, Xander's like, you think this guy makes the halfway mark? People were talking about firing him. How don't you have blitz beater built into the scheme? Gillespie, do me a favor, expand on that. How don't you have blitz beater built into the scheme? Oh, with like drop off passes and short game stuff, because Hurts has a skill set for underneath passes. He's not a dump off guy. He's not a check down dude. That's not who he is, because he's not talented in the pocket. Don't you understand the reason they don't have a short passing game? Because he's not talented in the pocket. Why do you think he doesn't throw across the middle of the field? Because he's not a talented pocket passer. Look at the throw chart. Have you ever seen Jalen Hurts' throw chart? It's all in the numbers. Again, we go back to how they're designing this. They're designing the offense to his weakness, and it works. Hurts is smart. He figures it out. When they need yards, the running game's being stopped, he takes off and extends plays. That's what you want your quarterback to do. I don't really have an issue with Jalen Hurts right now. I have no issue with him. I think he's doing everything with a limited offense right now because Landon Dickerson and the run game is not great right now. Okay? Oh boy, is it getting worse. Who's going to be smart enough to turn it around? Jalen. Some of these dudes in here, dumb as shit. We had the prototype quarterback, Wentz, and could barely be 500 outside one season. Now we win, and they don't like how it looks. Who cares how it looks? Right. They're complaining. Hey, Hurts season, they're complaining how it looks. I'm not. My point was, if you are expecting the passing game to be elevated, get this, if they increase the amount of passes, Hurts will be in the 15 range of turnovers. Why? You won a Super Bowl with limited passing, but your run game was dominant. You got to get the run game going again. Barkley's got to get going. Okay? Dude, this is another thing. Here's another example of my point. Carson Wentz was a more gifted passer than Jalen Hurts. Some of you don't want to hear that because this guy's throwing to Travis Fuckfinger. Okay? This guy's throwing to Travis Fuckfinger. And he's throwing for $4,000. He had no weapons. He didn't have a wide receiver with over 500 yards the year he threw for $4,000 and 30 touchdowns. Throwing to guys named Travis Fuckfinger. I mean, you got to be kidding me. But Wentz is not a better passer, or he's not a better quarterback than Jalen. Okay? He's not. That's the point. That is right on the point. Listen, you're crying right now. Some of you, again, I have no intention of even debating anything with some of these people. None. Because I'm right. Nobody's complaining about Jalen Hurts here. We're telling the truth about Jalen Hurts. He's a winner. He does things that win. He's not going to be the best looking chick at the beauty pageant. You don't like that. That's okay. But he's the most talented. He'll go further. Beauty only goes so far. Smarts is going to carry you the rest of your life. And that's what Hurts is. Okay? I mean, that's what you want him to be, the best looking chick at the beauty pageant. And he's not. But that's all right. You know, I keep hearing people talk, will this offense no, it's never going to get better. It's just got to be more efficient. You're never going to be, hey, you ever wonder why Jalen Hurts can't throw for $4,000 when you got Blake Bortles throwing for $4,000? They play from behind. You never do. They have a short passing game. You don't. They throw across the middle. You don't. That's why you got $3,000, 3,200 yards, 700 yards rushing, and you win. Okay. Doesn't look good, but it's effective. Your passing game is never going to be elite. You got elite players. That is something that AJ's going to have to deal with. All right? He is. He's going to have to be elite when it comes to thinking his way through. Once again, I'll say it again to you. This is the run game the run game's the problem here. It's not the passing game. It's the run game. Let's go by the numbers here and go by the latest trends. Let's take a look at it. As a matter of fact, look, their early trends, I like to get at least 16 quarters in before I make more, but it's 8 quarters. So here's your latest trends and what you're doing. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button here. So defensively, listen to these trends. Total defense, you're 9th. Fucking no way. That's really good. With that group, that's fucking insane. You're telling me your defensive team has got a higher ranking in total defense than that talented offense does, which is ranked 29th. You tell me. You got there's no Adoree Jackson playing, get this, there's no fucking Adoree Jackson playing on offense. Jahan Dotson's fucking better than that. Okay? Jahan Dotson is the weakest link on your offense. Adoree Jackson is a nobody. And you're 9th. Vic, whoa. Petula was a moral hire. If you don't promote him from within, the good coaches will look elsewhere for better opportunities. See Deuce Staley. Dude, that elevating from within doesn't mean you're qualified. Pass defense, you're 8th. With Adoree Jackson. What? Holy shit, way to go, Vic. Rush defense. Here's why teams are close. Xander, did you say something today to John McMullen about Jalen Carter being out of shape? You're 21st in rush defense. Fat guy. Missed the game. Get some character and get your fat ass in shape. They need you. You're 21st in rushing defense versus teams that don't run the ball. The Cowboys and the Chiefs don't run the ball. And your excuse? is that Carter's out of shape and he got thrown out. There's why these games are close. Again, look at this. It was his first game. And why would that be? Because lack of character. Well, I don't give a shit about Dak Prescott. Scoring, you're 12th. Dak, CD, Mahomes, okay, not terrible. This is defense. Red zone, 17th. It's 8 quarters. Let's check it out after this week. Third down. Teams are effective against you. Here's the one problem that you're having too defensively. You're not getting off the field on third down. You're 28th. You're not getting off the field because the run defense is not effective. That's the trend so far heading into the Rams game. The Rams are going to see that. You're not getting off the field. You're allowing 3 and outs. Why? Not because of the teams aren't passing on you. Teams are running the football on you. And here's the issue that I would have with the first 2 weeks. And again, September's a liar's month. My problem is you played against teams that don't run the ball. All in all, I'm happy with that. Vic will improve third down because the conditioning will get better of Carter. Maybe the second. Hey, by the way, what else does this dictate? 28th and third down and 21st in rush defense. Where's your pass rush? You've got 1 pass rush. Are you getting to the quarterbacks? I see it a little bit. And the way you had to manufacture pressure, you had to blitz Patrick Mahomes. You weren't getting there on your own. You were getting there because Vic was putting you in a position to get there. Plain and simple. You're not defending the run. You're not getting off the field. And in the red zone, they're scoring on you. Again, limited football teams. Overall, defensively, first 8 quarters, a lot to play. I'm pretty happy with their start. I'll tell you this. I'm happier with their start right now than I was a year ago. And a year ago, you had the number 1 ranked defensive football team in all the NFL. That guy, Vic Fangio, man, he is something else. This guy's making, like I said, chicken soup out of chicken shit. This is not bad. Let's go to the offense, where all your money is, all your high-powered guys are, where all the focus is on your football organization. You're 29th out of 32 teams offensively. You're 31st in passing. You're 7th in run. I want to tell you this. If you take Jalen Hurts out of the equation, you're 25th in rushing. Hurts is the man moving the sticks. You're 16th in scoring. For all that talent, you're 29th in total offense. And you're 31st in your passing game. And a year ago, you were 2 in rushing. Well, that's fallen off because Barkley doesn't look the same. I don't think it's Saquon. I think Saquon looks the same. He looks healthy. He doesn't look anything wrong with him. It's your O-line that's the issue. Okay? This Landon Dickerson injury is bigger. Landon Dickerson has not played well. He's looked like very, very average. And it has a lot to do with his injury. Okay? Let's hear it. I'm not wrong about the defense. This will be this week a validation game. Wrong? Okay. Like I said, I'm giving you talking points here because it's 2 games in 8 quarters. You have no idea what it's going to look like. You're not going to be playing people like you've played. And if you're counting on people dropping passes as a strategy, good luck to you. I'm not buying that. Okay? I mean, end of the day, you should be a little bit more encouraged about your defense. As a matter of fact, I said this to you at the postgame show. I said I was more encouraged about some of the stuff I was saying. Here's the problem that I would have with your defense. If you don't get this, if that third down is true and you're 28th and you're one of the worst defensive football teams on third down against Matthew Stafford, they'll put 35 on you. Do I believe you're one of the worst third down teams? No. So let's see what the validation will be this weekend. Are you one of the worst rushing defenses in the league? I don't think so. I don't. By the way, hold on for a second, Joe. This is not if. This is what you are right now. It's not if. This is what it is. This is called trends. Okay? This is called trends. Let's take a look at the Rams. So, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Battle Royale will be at 4:30, and the legendary Jackie Slater will join us at 5:30. One of the greatest offensive linemen in pro football history. I played against him. Truly one of my wife and I are dear friends with this guy. We love Jackie Slater. Just a special guy, man. All right. So let's take a look at the Rams. The Rams are 7th in total offense. They're 8th in passing. They're 16th in rushing. Why is that okay? Well, they only need a little bit of play action for Stafford to spin that ball. Now, Tennessee Titans they played last week. Where are we going there? If I'm going to criticize the wide receivers that the Kansas City Chiefs have, I'm surely going to criticize the Rams' numbers here against the Titans. I think the Titans have one of the worst rosters in pro football, if not the worst roster in pro football. So I think some of these numbers for the Rams, I think they're overrated, especially on the defensive side of the football. I completely think they're overrated a little bit here. Tennessee, you're not going to get me to sit here crowing about the Rams when the Rams had the Tennessee Titans in the opener. Okay? You got to be kidding me, right? So, I mean, offensively, they're scoring. They're 11th. Red zone, they're 21. Third down, they make plays on third down. But again, we're talking Titans. Now, Rams defensively, they're 4th in total. They're 4th in pass defense. They're 17th in run defense. This is an Eagle game, isn't it? Isn't this an Eagle game? They're number 1 in scoring defense. They're number 2 in red zone defense. And they're number 7 in third down. But what's the most important number here? The Rams are 17th in rush defense. Tell you what, if you can't manufacture a run game, you're losing this football game. Saquon Barkley has been New York Giants Saquon Barkley so far. Now, I don't believe it's Barkley. I think it's Steen and an injured Landon. Okay? I think it's Steen and Landon being hurt. Because right now, you're rushing up. I mean, Jalen Hurts is picking up for the lack of running attack. They're just picking it up. AJ trade would be the biggest move that, bro, AJ Brown being on the field is the only thing saving your passing game. Because you have to respect it. So let me get this right, intern. If you put Jahan Dotson and you put Devontae Smith, and I don't know who the next guy is, the Michi guy, you're the Kansas City Chiefs passing game with a limited quarterback who could throw the ball. Like I told you, Jalen Hurts is going to have moments and seasons throwing the ball. He'll never be consistent. It's not what he is. That Houston defense is top 5 in the NFL. I agree. I didn't say, if you heard me, I didn't say the Houston Texans. I said the Titans. Okay, I said the Titans. The question is, will Landon get healthy or will it get worse from playing hurt? His injury is definitely impacting the rush game. Absolutely, it's impacting. You can see it. Landon Dickerson got his ass kicked by Chris Jones. He was destroyed in that game. If you were to give him a grade, it was a C- at best. That's the first game I've seen Landon Dickerson get his ass kicked in a football game. Watch it. That's not hyperbole. Go back and watch it. This guy was getting his ass kicked. Seals, the Eagles love to play up or down to their competition. That's not true. Because if that was the case, there'd be more L's versus loser teams. And you don't see them losing to teams that they're supposed to be beating. I disagree with that, Abe. You don't see upsets of the Eagles. They beat who they need to beat. Okay? Seals, you think this is AJ's last year with the Eagles? I don't know right now. How about if I gave you this? I don't know if this year is the last year, but I'll make this point to you. If the passing game continues, and it continues down this way, and they're hanging around 30th and 29th like they did a year ago, what's the point of paying them? Are you really just going to have him out there? Now, is there value to him being out there as a decoy? Absolutely. And get this, AJ was talking out of his fucking mouth when he said they zoned me up. There was no really where to go. So he was a decoy. He contradicted himself. Well, they zoned me up. There was no place for me to go. Okay. So we couldn't get any passing game going. So then you were a decoy. If they zoned him up like that, they played zone for a reason. They wanted to stop him. So there's a value to that. He's a decoy. Right now, A.J. Brown's a decoy until the run game gets better. People don't ask the right questions of some of these guys. The guy told you flat out, you're either taking a shit on your quarterback, you're taking a shit on your coordinator, or it's you. Pick one. A.J. Brown can't get open? Well, that's a new one. Seals, is there anybody close to A.J. Brown in talent in the next years in the draft? You're not going to be able to determine that until you get it. The drafting of wide receivers is as tricky sometimes as drafting a quarterback. Depends on what scheme they're in, what conference they're in, opponents they're playing against. You know, drafting Trey Lance is a great example. Well, when you're drafting a guy out of a beer-drinking white guy league, and you think that guy's going to be playing against guys who are horrible cornerbacks in that conference that North Dakota State plays in, I'm not fucking drafting anybody out of that thing. What are you, crazy? I'm not drafting a skilled guy out of there. Who's his competition? Who's he playing against? Helen Keller University? Get the hell out of here. Get this. My chances of landing on an SEC guy, there may be a guy up there. I'm going to take my shot at the SEC. I'm going down there at the SEC. My chances of success in the draft are going to be higher draft out of that place than out of North Dakota. Shit, I got a better chance of having more talent out of Vanderbilt than I do out of North Dakota State. Ole Miss has talent because Lane Kiffin knows how to he knows how to recruit. Jeremiah Smith, are you guys effing serious? He's half the size of AJ. Listen, nobody knew AJ Brown or DK Metcalf was going to be a great football player playing at Ole Miss before Lane got there. I mean, those guys were, right? Coming out of college, it was the LSU guys that came out of college that were the dudes. So, again, by the way, where do you guys think the mismatch is this week? Where do you guys think the mismatch is? Okay? No. Rams versus your defense. No, excuse me. Eagles offense versus the Rams defense. Where's the mismatch? Where's the mismatch? Run the ball? Hurts versus the blitz? At corner. One more, Lamar. I think that D-line's gotten better. Okay? Rams offense versus the Eagles defense. Eagles offense versus the Rams defense. Yes. Correct. Corner and linebackers. They're massive mismatches. Massive mismatches. If A.J. Brown doesn't go for 150 yards in this game, you got a serious problem with your offensive way and the way you're approaching the games. There's nobody on that Rams team, on the corner position or the linebacker position, that should shut anybody down. Now, here's the key to this. Okay? You don't have Dallas Goedert here. I don't think. Is Goddard playing in this game? Is Dallas playing? Because if he's not playing, then that mismatch at linebacker is negated. Because Hurts is not going to go across the middle of the field with that Granson guy. So Goddard's not playing. That favors the Rams. But they don't have a corner on that football team, in my opinion, that can cover A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith for that matter. If you're not able to move the sticks and throw the ball in this game, and you're limited in the run game, you're in trouble. Remember, it's a validation game. This is the validation game I'm talking. I'm labeling this the validation game. Okay? Is he practice? He's practicing. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay? There's no corner that they have on that team that should be able to cover A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It is a massive mismatch. Now, how can they negate that? Blitzing hurts. Be prepared. The Rams are going to bring pressure. Hurts struggles with pressure. You saw it last week. You see it every year against the Bucs. He struggles with pressure. And if your run game's not going, again, the problems in the Eagle offense is the run game. It's not the pass game. The pass game was non-factor last year until the later part of the season. Early to mid and to late, it never really played a factor because the run game was so dominant. It was the run game was historic. Big Sills, if this doesn't get fixed, how long until it gets ugly and we approach 23? You're not going to approach 23 because of one man, Vic Fangio. You're not going to have the meltdown like that. You may lose some ball games in consecutive weeks for the first time, but you're not going to have a nuclear meltdown like you saw where everything just fell apart. I agree, man. I'm with you, Abe. Vic is that guy. Okay? I mean, the Rams, this is going to be the game this week and next week. Now, I'll tell you this about the Bucs game. These next 2 weeks, I said this morning about the Bucs. Hey, if you're overlooking that Jets game with that makeshift offensive line that you have, you're going to drop that Jets game. They are a wounded football team. They're not the team they were a year ago. Luke Gedeke's injured. He's going to miss some weeks. And I said this also this morning about the Bucs. This is the game this week, the Rams. You know why? They're losing for the next 2 weeks, I think, Luke Gedeke and Tristan Wirfs. That'd be like losing Mulata and Lane. The Eagles aren't winning a football game if you lose Lane and Mulata at the same time. You're fucking crazy. There's not a chance in hell you would lose. You're going to win football games without Lane Johnson and Mulata at the same time being out. Well, that's what the Bucs are facing. They're out. Luke Gedeke and Tristan Wirfs. They're in trouble, is my point. This week's the Rams game. The Rams have improved their roster. The Bucs are injured. Okay? The Bucs are injured. They don't even have Goddard. Or excuse me, they don't have Chris Godwin. They're 2-0. That's a fraudulent 2-0 team. Sills, this game could be a confidence booster for our O-line. If they be absolutely true, it'd be a momentum game. No doubt. Losing Lane is enough to lose. Never mind losing Mulata too. JoJo, that's what the Bucs are in. You get past this Rams game and you get into that Buccaneer game. I don't know how the Eagles don't win that Buc game in Tampa. I have no idea. It'd be like losing Lane and Jordan Mulata. Both those tackles are gone. They just gave Luke Gedeke $23.5 million annually. And the other guy makes $32. It's the same setup. I would make this point. The Eagles have the best tandem of tackles. They're the second best. But they're out. They're out. Your guys aren't injured. So when we lose to the Bucs without AJ and Lane, you give them all the credit for beating us. Don't want to hear it. That will play no factor. You got to have guys step up and win. You're right. That's not a you thing. Don't worry about it. Give them credit. Give the Bucs. No, it's part of the schedule. It's the war of attrition. Once again, Brock Doombag, It's part of the game. It's the war of attrition. It's not about that. A.J. Brown needed 8 yards to beat you, Texas boy. True. Remember something too, Cosmo. Him being on the football field. Listen here, dude. Seriously. Win a game. Win a game that you can write to your mother about. That the Cowboys have won a game that mattered. You know, take your pen out like this and write down a game over the last 10 years that you could write to your mother. That was a significant game that you won. And get back to me then. He's 10 times better than CD. And by the way, you throw the ball to AJ, here's the new one. He'll catch it. Hey, listen, Cosmo, you know the only way you can make, you know how you can make Texas boy cry like that? Just show him his record. Words aren't going to help that guy. All you got to do is look at his record. When's the most significant game? Like here, ask yourself this. Texas boy, what's the most significant game that you've won in the Hey, pork chop, what's the last game that you've won that was significant? Help me out here, pork chop. What's the last significant game you've won? Let's see. Well, the 1978 Super Bowl, you know, we played like the Denver Broncos, I think. And Craig Morton was the quarterback. I still had my teeth back then. And I didn't have my colostomy bag. But, you know, it was a really great. Excuse me. Oh, wait, hold on here. Let me hook up my colostomy bag again. Hang on here. My shit's going all over myself. Okay, I got it now. Oh, yeah, and then Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, the Jimmy Johnson days. Oh, hold on for a minute. Wait a minute. My pancreas is killing me. Too much whiskey drinking. And doing a hoedown. Right? Yeah, doing that Texas waltz and that Texas hoedown. Hey, I've been down to the West End too, my friend. I know where the West End is. You know where the West End is? It's down there at the spaghetti factory. You go down there with my old lady. We went down there and have ourselves some grub. Fun time. That was back in the 90s, though. I don't even know if they have a spaghetti factory anymore. But hey, I'm sure it's a hell of a hoedown. Come on, hoedown. Look at this. Oh, I'm sure CD's better. And then all you have to do is do this. You know how the Pope makes people kiss the ring? CD would be on his knees kissing A.J. Brown's ring. Yes, Father. Yes, Father. I've got 112 yards. AJ's got 27. Here's my ring. Kiss it. Yes, sir. Kiss that ring. How you doing? I missed the super. All right. Holy cow. Hey, you know what? Hey, Texas nerd. End of the day, just remember, you're a lot of fun in here, man. Because you know why? It takes me off actually talking about a real football team. And then we could talk about what it would sound like in another market when we're covering a shitty team. I mean, right? Hey, folks, Eagle fans, this is what covering a shitty team sounds like. For me, like the Cowboys. That's a shitty team. Covering the Eagles, we're talking serious ball here. Covering the Cowboys, it's like covering a colonoscopy. Getting your rear end, getting that 20,000-mile rear end check. Ah! Ah! Going to see the a-hole doctor. Hey, here's Texas boy. What time of the year is it? Well, it's Cowboy time, and that usually means a lot of L's. So I got to get my rear end checked. Ah! Oh, man. Oh, my God. You hear the cowbells ringing when you go to them places, don't you? Yeah, I got a better one. The Dallas Spider Ricos. Absolutely. Dallas Cowboys. That's what it's like for me covering a shitty team. You just make fun of them all day. You make fun of their moves. You make fun of their Skeletor owner. And you make fun of them. We just signed Jadeveon Clowney. We gave up Micah Parsons. It was the best thing ever happened. We signed Jadeveon Clowney. You remember him? No. The guy from South Carolina who was like good, like maybe 15 years ago? That guy? Oh, yeah. Remember when he hit Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz hasn't been here in 6 years. Oh, yeah. Well, he's still got something in the tank. What's that? Vinegar? Holy shit. Gotta be kidding me. You want to talk about a winning football team and some serious ball? You talk Eagles. You want to talk some delusional ball? You talk Cowboys. Yeah, I think they're good. I'll let the Dallas Cowboys and old Russell Wilson throw for 450 yards on my defense. You see that comeback? The best player on our team right now, since Parsons left, is my kicker. Well, you got some problems, bro. When your best player is your kicker. Kickers aren't football players. But on Sundays in Dallas, that's the only thing you got going for you. Kick! Like watching a Premier League game. Who's the best player on the Cowboys? Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. That's who the best is. Hate to say that, but it would have been great time to trade him. No. Would have kept the whole defense together easily and added. Listen, Jerry's trying to cover it up with Kenny Clark and Jadeveon Clowney. Hey, Texas boy. Really? I've added a 33-year-old edge rusher and a 31-year-old run stopper. Whew, boy, I don't know who's older. It's going to be like the geezers at Caesars when Washington and Dallas plays. You want to see a really old game? Like old timers game. Cowboys and Redskins. Yeah, man. We're going to play this at old RFK too, where it rocks. How you doing? Holy shit. Well, let me guess. The next guy he's going to sign is Charles Haley. There's the Lisa Ann thing, man. Why did Parsons have his best rush defensive game of his career immediately after they let him go? Well, because the Cowboys don't put good players together on a football team like Howie does. Playing next to really good players? Do you think, hey, CK40, do you think that maybe plays a factor? That you have good players around you, you might play better, right? How come Micah Parsons looks different in Green Bay than he did in Dallas? Maybe he's on a better team with a better environment, with more of a chance to win. Hey, the one thing that you don't have, folks, what's the one thing the Dallas Cowboys don't have this year in 2025? What is it? You know what it is? Hope. And that ain't a diamond. It's hope. Hey, I hope we're decent. Hey, I hope my secondary's good. Hey, I hope. That's true. It's a great comment by somebody in here. A.J. Brown beat you with 8 yards. Hey, I'd rather have A.J. go for 250. If I'm a Cowboy, I'd rather have A.J. Brown go for 250 yards receiving than beat me with 8 yards. Hey, AJ must have had a huge game. No. Well, Devontae must have had a huge game. No. Oh, they beat him. Well, I don't know. CD dropped 8 passes. Wait, CD's the highest paid receiver in the league, right? Mm-hmm. Well, right? Get this. Zadarius Smith was like the best pass rusher on the. So how he calls the guy up and goes, "Hey, Z, I want you to come play for me. Give you a shot to win yourself another or an opportunity to win yourself a championship." You know, the Cowboys are calling me. Well, it's just like going to the Lakers right now. Think of this. Do you want to go to the Lakers? Do you know what the Lakers sell you if you're a free agent? I heard this. You know what Rob Pelinka, the general manager of the Lakers, sells you? We got Sunset Strip. We got LA. We got a lot of things for people to do in Los Angeles. Wow. And you know who players are saying? Why they don't go there anymore? Well, what kind of team you got? Oh, well, we got Luka. We got a 45-year-old LeBron and his kid. Yeah, well, how good are you? Well, we're about the 7th best team in the West. Yeah, no. I'm a hoop player, dude. I'm not a movie star. That's what the Cowboys do. We got the Dallas Cowboy, and we got Jerry's World. What else you got? The Star. You want to be a podcast star like Michael was? We got it for you. You want to get into broadcasting when you're done? We got that for you too. What about winning games? Shit. I want to play football. I'm a football player. Football players don't go to Dallas. Rock stars go to Dallas. Strippers go to Dallas. It's a team of strippers. Where do I dance? Table 3? $1 million? Where? Circus? Where do I go? Not that I know these places. Zadarius looked good, and wide receiver needed to be grateful for Howie making a move like that. Tell you what, man, he was good. I mean, he was good there too. Smith got after it. Okay? Y'all delusion. Get this. Out of both sides of his mouth again, it's only 8 quarters. A fuckface. I've been saying that the entire show. Open your brains. Stop working. There's 2 things you work your palm with. Writing your bullshit here and late at night when you're alone in your crib. That's what you work your fingers over. Is typing little things to Dan and working yourself over at night in your crib. Relax, kid. Go back to your corner. We're terrible when it comes to hiring from within. And I agree. The real question is, here, I would say this to you. Do you have precedent here? You do. You hired from within and it didn't go anywhere. Wait a minute here. I like this guy, actually. At least he's got Stundines. At least he's got a backbone. Dude, I give you credit. Right? Shut up. Oh, really? We all know if Jerry Jones told you to work for the Cowboys, you jump to it instead of doing what you're doing right now. You see that Dallas Cowboy helmet? Mine was stolen. Steven wrote that, and he wrote, always a Cowboy on there. Are you under the impression the Joneses don't like me? Stephen Jones sent that. Texas boy, do you believe that? Stephen Jones wrote something on there. You'll always be a Cowboy to me, Sills. Your guy wrote it and sent me a helmet and said, here's your replacement, because mine got stolen. And they go, here, Sills, once a Cowboy, always a Cowboy. No, dude, that's what I told your mom to do. I think he's saying, Sills, which cornerback deal would you rather have? Bland? Oh, I'd rather have the Cowboy ones. Jackson's horseshit. Sills, by November, Cowboy fans are going to be selling their Stugats. Ah, man. You know, if Jerry ever called you, who wouldn't, jackass? Ooh. Sorry. Hey, wait a minute, guys. I got to say it in here. Hey, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Yeah, I know I have a propensity to do that. Hey, I'm really sorry, man, if your feelings are hurt. And I know, my words didn't hurt your feelings, but me making you go look at your record probably made you hurt your feelings for the last 30 years. I can understand why. Can you put the word in to the cowgirl cheerleaders about the stripping thing? No. I know the lady that runs the place. Sills, you should make this a segment. What, shitting on Cowboy fans? That's not that hard. Sills, Eagle fans will be calling for Sirianni and Petula's job by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving? Hold on, not Sirianni, because Sirianni is a knee dragger. It'll be Petulo. By the way, this is going to be great to watch. Watch what happens here. If this week, if the Rams win and you can't generate any offense, you know what you're going to start seeing? Watch this one here. Who am I? We're in a team meeting. I'm going to be Nick Sirianni, and Kevin Petulo is going to be right here. Watch this. Here's Nick. And Kevin Petula's sitting next to him at a team meeting or a coaching meeting for the offense. Sorry, I got to move my chair over here a little bit. I got to move it closer to Howie. Hey, right? You know Nick, man. He knows the reading of the room. Nick's going to be like this. Look, Eric, right? Yeah, I got to move my chair closer to Howie. Shit, man. Hey, if you put up 20 points against the Rams, and that offense looks like it did in the 8 quarters, Nick's going to start doing, yeah, Kevin's got to be better. Oh, my God. I can't wait to see that. Hey, what relationship implodes quicker? I got to write this down. Oh, my God, this is going to be like as the world turns. If you lose this game against the Rams, AJ, Kevin Petulo, Nick, Jalen Hurts. Devontae will never do it. But watch this here. As the Eagle world turns, Eagles lose to the Rams. 28-10. And guess what? A.J. Brown is back to reading books. What book is he reading? He's reading the book of Numbers. Where's Kevin Petulo? SOS. Did they fly him back? Nick. I never heard of Kevin Petulo. And Jalen Hurts. Offense sucks. Oh, my God. Hey, look, I wrote it down here. This is the validation game. I got to say it, man. I'm more encouraged about your defensive side of the football than I am about your offensive side of the football. Especially with Kai Pye. Who was the first guy on this morning with the guys there in the morning? Who was the first guy on? Is that Mike Gill? Okay. So Mike Gill said something that, to me, one of the reasons I made a topic out of it, he's dead on. You know what it is? You're never going to have a consistent passing game because that quarterback's never going to be consistent in the passing game. But that's okay. You're expecting more for something that they've built to be a championship style of football. And the one thing he was wrong on, they're not building to the quarterback's skill set. They're building to the quarterback's weaknesses. And it works. And it works. All right. By the way, Battle Royale. Oh, my God. Cowboy fans are going to be back in here in about an hour. Then we're going to get the legendary Jackie Slater. Cowboy fans, man, I feel for you. Holy cow. Ojera gets Jadeveon Clowney. How he gets the guys to Darius Smith. He goes out there and he looks like a world beater. And you get an old dude in Jadeveon Clowney. And you get Kenny Clark. Yeah, okay, I get it. I think. Without further ado, is it KP? Is it Jalen? Is it whatever? I call this the validation game. Let's bring in our friend from the morning show, Big Z. Xander Kraus joins us now.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How about this? I'm calling this weekend the validation game.
I like it. I'm good with it. It's a tough opponent, man. They got some good players on that team. That D-line's no joke. That D-line can play. They got good receivers over there. They got a good quarterback who, the one thing about Matthew Stafford, who might be getting older, he is a quarterback that will take advantage of your weakness on defense. You know what I mean? He's one of those old school guys who reads the defense and will know going into that game, okay, it's Adoree Jackson that I want to attack. It's Andrew Makuba, who's a rookie player. It's Jahad Campbell that are rookie players. So he'll have that sight set on those things. But overall, I feel pretty good, man. I feel like the Rams still have a lot to prove, to be honest with you. We ran the ball at will versus that team last year. So we got to see if they can stop that. But it's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good one.
But you're not running the ball very well right now yourself.
No, we're not. We're not.
And to me, that kind of goes into the strength here a little bit. And here, let me go. I liked what Mike Gill said today. And I get this. Here's what everybody in Philly wants. They want to win the Miss America Award. And they want to win the Miss America pageant with the best-looking chick and the most talented-looking chick in the beauty pageant. Jalen's not the best-looking chick in the beauty pageant. He's the most talented chick in the beauty pageant, which means this. You're never going to get the best-looking guy at that position ever, and Mike Gill's right. So you know what they did? The only thing he's wrong on, they're not building it to his talents. They're building it to his weaknesses, which is okay. I mean, Xander.
Yeah, but this is my problem.
You're never going to get a consistent passing game. You're just not.
My problem with it is in the process of doing this, while it's working right now, you're castrating your quarterback.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts is afraid to throw the ball right now because he's so worried to turn the football over. That's not that might work right now. That is not a good long-term way to develop and grow and build on a franchise quarterback. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not. That comes with the assumption that every year we're going to have a best O-line. Every year we're going to be able to run the ball like we did last year. Every year we're going to have a top defense. You have to build. You keep referencing that Brady clip, and in a similar way, this reminds me of that. You shouldn't be doing things that take away from the guy who's going to be the common denominator in your offense. You should be building onto that. And I did some stat breakdown this morning. All right. And I want to run some of this stuff by you. And I just kind of laid out, all right, all the years of Jalen Hurts as a quarterback of the Eagles, not just the statistics, but some of the intricacies. And I'm still doing some research. And
I call them trends.
Yeah, right. Trends. But there's some more things I'm still researching. So I'll continue to add to it. But just looking at where he is this year. So his yards per attempt in his career, Sills, 7.2 in 2020 when he only played 4 games. 7.3 in 2021, his first year as a starter. 8.0. All right, that was close to the top of the NFL that year. And he was second in the MVP voting, and the Eagles lost on a flag in the end of the Super Bowl. Okay? 8.0. 2023, where Brian Johnson was fired and the team collapsed, 7.2 yards per attempt. Last year, another Super Bowl appearance year, 8.0 yards per attempt. Through the first 2 games of 2025, it's 5.6. And here's the kicker. Ready? There's only 34 quarterbacks right now who have taken more than 20 snaps in the NFL. So 2 on top of the 32 starters. There's 2 more. Jalen Hurts ranks 33 out of 34 in yards per attempt right now. They are not even letting him let his nuts hang and try and throw the ball out there.
It's by design.
Dude, it's too much, though. It's too much. You can't.
Kellen Moore is showing you that when he got here, this is all by design with analytics. The analytics people are doing this to the coordinators to design the offense that fits the kids' weaknesses. Moore goes to New Orleans with a shitty Spencer Rattler, a horrible roster. He wants to win from the pocket. When Kellen Moore got here, the analytics, Nick, Howie, we don't want to win ball games like that. As long as Barkley's in the building. Xander, you're looking at the passing game. The reason that the passing game is struggling right now is because what? You don't have a historic run game going right now.
No.
You just don't. When landing gets better, Jalen, I think, will become more efficient in the passing game, and I think those numbers will improve. Right now, here's this. Look, you've got an injured Landon, and you've got Steen. Bro, those aren't the same ball players you had a year ago with a historical line. You don't have a historical line. He has to cover for the missing yards that Barkley's not getting you in the first 8. Now, again, it is 8 quarters of football. September's a liar's month, but we're now doing this. Let's add it to what you just did. I actually love what you're doing here because what you're doing is you're looking at the totality of the guy's career, and that's a right way to look at it. Do me a favor. Take a look at what they did a year ago when it came to the passing game. They're 29th now. They're 31st. You're 29th in total offense right now. The run game is down. The passing game is worse. They're relying on winning games because Jalen Hurts is using his wheels to cover the deficiencies in the football team. And you know what else you're winning by? A.J. Brown is a decoy. When A.J. Brown goes,
he is by default. And the difference
by default.
The difference with last year, though, Sills, is it's one thing. You're right in the way that they ran, they played their offensive game. But again, I gave you the average target. They were throwing the ball deep when they might not have been throwing it 35 times a game, but in the 20 to 23 attempts that they did have a game, Jalen Hurts and the offense were pushing the ball down the field. When you push the ball down the field and you show that that's a threat, that immediately changes the way the defense can stack the box. Right now, they're not even trying to push the ball.
Because
like
they
you're
don't
telling me,
want
Spags is like, I could take away the run, and the only thing you're going to beat me with is a 5-yard route to A.J. Brown? I'll take that all day. I'll take that all day. They're not even trying to push the ball down the field.
And you know why? Because that's higher percentage of turnovers, pushing the ball down the field instead of going underneath. And I would come back and counter to you and say, hey, Spags, you'll take that all day? I fucking beat you. Okay? I mean, that's their mentality right now.
But still, let me, and this is where I think I get pissed off because you're right. They keep winning. Right, it's working, and I understand there's a lot of people in here who will bitch at me right now because we are winning and we are 2-0, and I understand that, and it's early in the year, but it's not supposed to be this way.
No.
We have a $250 million offense. You're not supposed to skate by the skin of your teeth and reduce your offense down to, okay, don't make any plays, everybody. The only thing we can't do is just don't make negative plays. Dude, that's for teams. That's for the Chiefs when they're without their 3 top receivers. That's for teams like that have no weapons and have to skate by the skin of their teeth. This is built to be a beast offense. It's built. They're paying the money for it to be. They're not paying the money for it to be continually reduced down to nothing. And just don't turn it over and we're good. Okay, yeah, we keep winning. But, man, we have a really small margin right now, and I don't think the team – it's not like it demands it that way. All right, we have the weapons we need to be a force multiplier on offense, to make this thing, to make this team one of the best shows on turf. We don't even try.
The thing you're now evolved into and how you look at your team, you're talking about winning the wars and not the battles. You want the wars, the Super Bowl. You want to win that. And what you're also talking about is maximizing your Super Bowl window. They're not maximizing the Super Bowl window by farting around. And by the way, I come to the conclusion, you're right. It's not Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo has been told to design the offense this way. Kellen Moore was told to design.
He's done a great job. I really don't. I know it's not all on him, and I have not yet.
Even if he's being told to do this by the analytics.
I have not yet said that it's all on Kevin Patullo. But for you to come in here, and by the way, you said it perfectly, and we cut it up into one of our shorts on social media on a reel. Why the fuck would you hire a training wheels coordinator for an offense as loaded as it doesn't make any sense?
You wouldn't.
Dude, this is not a job where you can learn. You either have what it takes or you. I think it was Real Zeal in the chat who said it to you in a super chat, and that's where the conversation started. This is not a job meant to, okay, it's training, everybody. No, this isn't the service manager at a retail store. You're the offensive coordinator of the most expensive offense in the NFL.
The most talented, too.
The most talented and the most expensive. This was not supposed to be, okay, Kevin, I know you're just getting your feet wet. I know you're just learning on the job. That's not what this is. And that's what they went with.
What I don't like right now is this conversation. I was told in the offseason, by the way, one of my bold predictions was that Kevin Patullo would be replaced as offensive coordinator. I made this point to you, and everyone else did. And Xander, I kept hearing this in the offseason. Well, he's been in the building for 4 years. He's been at the side of Nick. He's been at the side of Kellen. Okay? He's been there, and this is why he got the job, because he's been here a long time and he's ready. Now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing this. It's only 2 games. Well, which is it? He's either been here a long time, he knows what he's fucking doing, or it's only 2 games. Can you have both?
Well, I think it's
been in the building.
It's fair to say it's only 2 games, right? I think we can we're not dumb. All right. We all know it's 2 games. We don't need that comment 20 times in the chat. It's 2 games. I know, guys. I know it's 2 games. But the early signs aren't great right now. And I agree with you where you're like, I like a little bit more before I can make a trend. But the early trend, Sills, are that the offense has been compressed down into and reduced down into this.
Dumbing down even more.
It was already dumbed down, and they've now dumbed it down to they're not even taking the shot plays. They're not even trying to push the ball. And by the way, with A.J. Brown, how many times do I have to say that? With A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, not with Tyquan Thornton. Okay? You don't have Darius Cooper and Britton Covey out there. You got 2 dudes that are as good as it gets. So I don't know why they're doing this. And they're lucky they have Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts, as we talk about, is.
I have no issues with him.
Well, they're lucky they got him, because he really practices what he preaches in terms of all I care about is winning. But every other quarterback in the league would be like, why are you reducing what I do in the game so much to the point that
you're making it more difficult for me to win games? Why are you making it more difficult for me to win games?
Dude, let him expand his offense, man. Open up the playbook a little bit. Let him play with some swagger and some confidence and some charisma. And come on, man. You're stripping the life out of the dude. And then he has to go out there and make everything happen, because when you do call a passing route, it's nothing good. That's for damn sure. It's 4 or 5 yards up the field.
And predictable.
And that's where Jalen is. Again, thank God we have Jalen, because if they didn't have him, this thing would be ugly. He's got to make so much of it happen with his legs right now. And look, I get it. There's going to be people that just want to win, and I just want to win too. So if I'm wrong, I hope I am wrong, honestly. I hope that this team marches their way to a Super Bowl. But to me, it just feels like we have this collection of talent with the quarterback, mind you, that I know not everybody loves Jalen Hurts. And I know some people are critical of the way he throws the ball and the way he manages the pocket and all those different things. I have seen, Sills, with my own 2 eyeballs, him take a defense to the woodshed through the air. Now, it hasn't been often, but I have seen it. I watched it in the Super Bowl. I watched it in the Pittsburgh game last year. I watched it in
The other Super Bowl.
2022, right, when he was second in the MVP voting. So I know that he's capable of doing it. It's not like you have out there somebody that every time you put the ball in his hands, he's a walking turnover, or he's a problem on the field, or he doesn't make plays. He's a versatile playmaking quarterback. Let him go make plays.
Do you think this offense is underachieving, or do you think Kevin Patullo's underachieving, or both?
I think it's a self-fulfilling thing where they have dumbed it down and they're almost asking so little of it. They're not even underachieving because they're not trying to do anything more.
How come when I asked this question in the offseason, I said, do you think this offense over or underachieved last year? You know what everybody said? They said it overachieved. And I went, no, it didn't. You had the 29th ranked passing attack in pro football. You had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I get they were injured. You had a historic running attack. I believe that there was so much room for upside for that team to look like you said, the greatest show on turf that the Rams had. When you're talking A.J. Brown and Devontae, aren't you expecting that Rams offense that won that Super Bowl and went to 2 in a row? Aren't you expecting that? You're expecting that, right?
I'm expecting our own version of it. You know, I don't even need it to look
right.
I'm expecting a Jalen Hurts version of it, but I want them to at least give him the opportunity. You know, I don't think it's a good formula long term. Two, I don't think it's going to work for a second year in a row because, you know, as Nick said today in his press conference, I mean, boy, he doesn't say much, but the one thing he did say today is most defensive coaches, the first thing they think about is taking away the run. That's the first thing most defensive coordinators think about. And that's true. Right. You can't play defense if you can't stop the run.
That's right.
So if you don't have an offense that puts your quarterback and your playmakers in position to take it, you know, again, Kellen Moore, I didn't think he was that great last year, but still.
I didn't either.
The couple times, though, that they took away Saquon, they made him pay. Every time. Pittsburgh, Commanders, Chiefs. 3 big games last year that they torched teams because they did everything they could to take away Saquon. And the Commanders really didn't even take away Saquon as is. But they're not even – now it's like they're not even trying to do that. And as you've said, Saquon's yards per play has almost halved this year. Went from, 6 or 5.5 to 3.7. Yeah, now this year because there's no threat. There's no – play too high, play zone. The corners aren't going to get the receivers aren't going to get the football, and Saquon's going to have to run into the box.
And Hurts is making up for the distance that you're losing in that.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. Goddard being out, Landon Dickerson being injured, and Mekhi Becton not being there. How do you think that that's affecting the run game so far this year out of the gate?
A lot. I think it's affecting it a lot, and I think it's
affecting the passing game too now.
Right, but I think I think it's all connected. I think it's exacerbated by the fact that they're not trying to push the ball down the field. That's taking a lot of pressure. Right, that's putting a lot more pressure on the running game. Then you have an offensive line that hasn't quite figured out how to gel yet this year. You got a couple guys dealing with injuries. You got a new guy in Tyler Steen who's still working on cadence and, you know, the hard count and different things like that at the line of scrimmage. You know, it's all connected. But it's all made worse because they've compressed it, and now the pressure at the bottom of the tube is so you know, it's getting closer or getting, you know, more compact, and now it's either going to explode or it's going to keep working. You know, I hope it keeps working. I really do. But part of me really hopes that they start to let Jalen Hurts play. Remember the quote Jalen made last year? You know, and Spike says Xander sounded like so. I don't even know what that means, by the way. You know, I think that's a good thing, by the way. But I don't know what that means. Jalen Hurts made a comment, Spike, last year after the Pittsburgh game. And he said, they let me out of the straitjacket. He told you right there, they are telling him they don't want him to push the ball. They don't want him to take.
They're afraid of him turning the ball over.
Right. Now
I'm starting to think they're telling him to take those sacks.
And I think and that's what I mean. It's getting worse. They've now done, because they had success, which is great. We're all happy they won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
All right. Because they've had success, they've doubled down on that so much that it's now gotten to a point where we've reduced it. I kept calling it the reductionist offense today. We've reduced it to rubble. Okay. You don't push the ball down the field. Now you're relying even more on Saquon. Jalen Hurts is afraid to throw the ball in any tight window. And by the way, every window is tight in the NFL because they've beaten into his head. You just can't turn the ball over. So we're squeaking by the Kansas City Chiefs 24-21 when both you and John said on the postgame show, if that team plays A-plus football, they blow them off the page today.
Blow them off the page.
We would have crushed that team. And I'm not even trying to set unrealistic expectations. I know it's the
should have been
NFL.
35.
I know you're not going to throw 40 times per or 40.
But you should have put 35 on that team.
Dude, that team wasn't in our league on Sunday.
No.
And the team in week one
were the Cowboys.
Exactly. The team in week one wasn't in our league. Russell Wilson threw for 450 on that defense. They're not even letting Jalen Hurts make the attempts. Now, if Jalen Hurts hey, look, this is where I'll step back and just say, all right, if Jalen Hurts is the one who wants to do it this way, then all right, maybe he doesn't believe that the other way is better. Maybe he truly believes that the reduction offense and playing it this way is the best setup, but I don't think it's him. I think it's the coordinators, and I think it's the offense, and that straitjacket comment from last year proves it.
I just wrote this down. Funny you just said that. So when does Hurts say enough is enough? I mean, I brought this up with Angelo.
Well,
when does he go like this? Wait a minute here, guys. I've got way more experience than Kevin Patullo, and to some extent now, even Nick Sirianni, because I'm the one pulling the trigger on this. This is my offense now. I'll make more of the control of what this direction of this team is. Why doesn't he take more control of the football team and more control of the offense? If he's such a leader, I get it. Listen, everyone's got a role, right? To be a champion, everyone's got a role. Is he afraid to challenge Nick? Is he afraid to challenge Kevin Patullo? Is he afraid to challenge Howie? Is that what the power structure is? Because again, you know what you have to say too? Hey, Hurts, we're winning. You've been to two Super Bowls.
I think that's it. I think what you're saying right now is it. I think Jalen Hurts is so focused on winning. And I think it's a great thing, by the way,
because they are.
And right. And because the results are there, he's not even in the frame of mind of, oh, let me try and push the ball down the field. I think he just wants to win football games. And the more they win football games, I think he's going to continue to be all right. But they do have to realize you're walking a tightrope right now playing this way. All right. And there was also, I keep using the quotes from Jalen last year. There was another quote from Jalen Hurts last year about something about you don't know a problem is there until it bites you in the ass. Something along those lines where you don't want it to just come up at the wrong time and bite us in the ass. Basically was kind of, paraphrased, but some sort of comment like that. That's kind of how I feel about this, man. And the Rams are going to be a great test because they do have good receivers and a good quarterback and a pretty good pass rush as well, by the way. So it's going to be interesting to see. But look, it's early, but I just don't love I don't love the fact that they took away the deep shots. Like we had where's Curtis's comment? Let me pull it up.
Because you're talking about self-inflicted here. This is nothing other teams are imposing on the Eagles. This is self-inflicted.
Right. And Curtis says here, all I heard last year is the pass game doesn't suck. We just don't need it. Well, Curtis, this is the thing that I'm saying about the difference right now. It's true. They didn't. And when they did need it, Curtis, what did they do? They passed the ball successfully last year, all the way through the Super Bowl. So when they didn't need it, and when they did need it, it was there. Now you have an offense that they took away Saquon Barkley in week one. The only reason we won the game is because Jalen Hurts knew how to make plays with his legs. Saquon Barkley ran for 3.7 yards a carry versus the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not exactly a stellar performance. Our receivers had 25 and 50 yards. So two instances where teams have played two different styles of defense, both focused on slowing the run down, both successful to a certain extent, and it was left, you were forced to beat them in ways where the offense was not unleashed at all. You had 5 catches for Jay Brennan, had 30 yards, 25 yards.
I want to go over the numbers here a little bit and the trends here with you. I got to tell you, man, thank God you have Vic Fangio. And I'm starting to buy into it even more so that this guy can make chicken shit into chicken soup. I'm starting to believe it here. Get this. You're 9th in total with the Dory Jackson playing corner. You're 9th in total defense so far trending. You've got an 8th ranked pass defense with with Adoree Jackson.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. And here's the problem with Jalen Carter. And I think this is why Vic is pissed off. You're 21st against the rush. You missed a game and you're out of shape. Your best player on defense, or the most talented player on defense, has hurt you in the run game. And here's the other part to it, Xander. You're 28th in third down. You know what that means? You're not getting off the field on third down. Better not play that role against Stafford this weekend. You need to get off the field and get 3 and outs.
Yeah.
If you don't get 3 and outs and that guy's able to pick you apart back there and get pressure on you and pressure your secondary, bro, that's a problem. Here's the Eagle offense, to your point. These are atrocious. You're 29th in total offense. There's only 3 teams worse than you in total offense.
Yeah, it's brutal.
You are 31st in passing. You are 7th in rushing. And get that. I looked at the numbers. You take Jalen Hurts' numbers away from the rushing attack, you're 20th. So you're 20th in running the ball with, if you don't have Hurts, you got to go like this. Jalen, great job. I don't have a Jalen Hurts problem here. And you're 21st in running rush defense. Bro, you're not running the ball effectively, and you're not defending the run effectively. I think Vic's going to fix the run defense. I do. I'm not sure you're going to fix the run offense. Dude, if you lose Landon Dickerson for any stretch period of time, you're in, bro, that they're playing him because they have to. You're going to go Brett Toth and the other guy, Steen, in the middle, and you think you're going to be an effective run game? Saquon Barkley will look like New York Giants Saquon Barkley. He does right now. Dude, like you said, I wrote it down here. This is validation week. We're going to find out more this week than I even think the Bucks are injured. The Bucks, I don't believe.
Bucks are real injured. The injuries in Tampa are building up quick. Yeah.
Bro, check this out. So they lost Luke Gedeke for a couple weeks. That means they've got worse, and they've got Gedeke. They just gave him $23.2 million a year. That'd be like losing Mulata and Lane. How do you think you would do losing Mulata and Lane for an extended period of time?
Yeah.
On your
Landon's not the same Landon right now.
No. My point is this year, you're going to find out more about your football team this week. Like you said, man, you and me are talking about concerning trends. Okay? There's a lot of good here, too. The defense, do you not agree compared to a year ago? I'm having more positive things to say about this defense than the number 1 ranked defense a year ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tell you what, I got high expectations for this. I think this defense is going to be another top 5 unit in the NFL. I really do. I mean, I think they've looked really good to start. I know they haven't had the best opponents, but even just fundamentally what you're seeing from the rookies, there's one spot right now that looks no good, and it's Adoree Jackson. And it's how are you going to be able to mask that? But I will say the contributions of Andrew Makuba are so far great, and he has that other knack, Sills, of seems to be always around the football, man. And that's a knack for certain players. So definitely great on Makuba. Jahad Campbell is going to be a monster. He is going to be a machine with Vic Fangio. I'm telling you right now, we're going into game 3 of his career. Mark my words. He will be a staple on this defense for a long time. A long time. He is going to be a really good player. He looks incredible. And he is just athletic and long and big and strong. I mean, he is everything you want in a Vic Fangio linebacker. So I'm super excited about what Jahad Campbell has brought. Zach Bond is still playing very good football. I know he didn't make as many splashes in week 2, but still graded out very high. Looks really good on defense. And then the addition of Zadarius Smith, I mean, only 1 game so far, but certainly looks like that guy's got a lot left in the tank.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro, and he's proven it. So I don't really need to question what he's going to be. The fact that I've seen him have some in the tank is enough for me to think, okay, he's going to be pretty good here for the remainder of the season. So I'm feeling pretty good about the defense, man. I really am. I feel like the defense has a chance to be. This might sound crazy, but they got a chance to be the no holes defense again. Now they got that hole with Adoree Jackson right now. I can't act like that thing doesn't exist. That thing does exist, but with 10 dudes on that defense, all right, who I think are playing good football. I think Jordan Davis is playing good football right now. Jalen Carter, I didn't think was incredible, but I thought he'll get up to speed. He'll get up to that game speed. I thought the out of shape comment is not my favorite thing in the world, but I do understand regular shape versus game shape.
You can fix that.
You can fix that, but that's not my favorite. Whatever. We already talked about that yesterday, but I feel pretty good about the rest of the defense.
See, what
I think they're in a really good spot.
That's the most important thing you have to remember when you're talking about a football season and criticism of a player from a coach. We've already talked about him being out of shape. He'll get in shape, okay, and he'll be a factor on the team. That's fixable. Just get your fat ass in shape, guy. They need you because they need that run defense fixed. So let's go to the Rams here a little bit. The Rams are 7th in total offense. They're 8th in passing. 16th is good enough for play action for one of the best throwers of the football.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the middle of the room, you're okay. They're 11th in scoring. They are 4th and 3rd down. What's that mean? They move the sticks. It's a pretty good offensive football team. And let's not forget, I get the Titans. I'll tell you what, though. Guess who's one of the top 5 defenses in pro football? The Texans.
Are they?
Yeah.
And I know they have the talent, but are they graded out that well for the first couple weeks?
I don't know where they're ranked right now. Let me see where they're ranked.
Yeah, I'll look. I mean, I'm also looking at just offense. And again, PFF is PFF. I know not everybody loves it, but the Rams are the highest rated offense in football right now.
Not a shocker.
Yeah, and they're by far the highest graded passing game in football. So they can pass the ball, man. And if there's a team that's positioned to take advantage of the Adoree Jackson hole on defense, it's going to be Matthew Stafford and the Rams. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I think Vic is in a better position to be able to mask that because, before week 1, I think we all rightfully had questions about, okay, how good is Makuba going to be? How good is Campbell going to be? They're rookies. I mean, you don't know what they're going to provide when they hit the football field. So I thought with those guys looking really good, I mean, that's a really positive sign, obviously. I think the defense is in a good spot, but they're going to have a good test this week. I'm excited for it because I want the Eagles to reach their best form. All right. I'm an Eagles fan. We've never had talent like this, man. Never. Seriously, that's why I'm like that way on offense. I know some people are like, oh, just want to win, but it's like, dude, we've never had this on offense. And we might never have it again once it's gone. All right. Or it could be a while. We have a loaded offense. I want them to reach their potential. I want the defense to reach their potential. So I think these early tests are great. It's great that they're happening early in the year. I love that they're coming now. And I think there's going to be a lot to learn from these couple games. But at the end of the day, we'll preface it by saying there's no need to sound the alarm. Even with my concerns on the passing game right now, there's no reason to sound an alarm. It's just kind of picking up on what they're trying to do right now. And I think these are going to be really good tests these next couple weeks specifically.
Be prepared for a shitload of blitz packages this week.
Oh, yeah.
With the middle of that offensive
line.
They're
not great against stopping the run, but they got a hell of a pass rush. The Rams have a good pass rush. And Jared Verse, I think he's off to another quick start, isn't he?
He might be up in the top 5. I'm not sure where he is. I thought he was at 2.5. Is that right?
Already? 2 games, 2.5 sacks?
I think he's at 2.5.
No, he's got no sacks yet this year.
Okay. There's a Ram? Is there a Ram guy with 2.5? I thought they had some sacks in the opener. But he's a good player. Here's their defense. They're 4th in total defense. They're 4th in pass defense. They're 17th in the run. Well, guess what? This is a Saquon Barkley game. If you can't run the football, dude, they're number 1 in scoring defense. They're number 2 in red zone. They're number 7 in 3rd down. So they're off to a great start. That's why I say I'm calling it.
Yeah, and they're not great run defense. So looking at their defensive grades, they're 16th against the run right now, graded out. And coverage-wise, they're 5th in the NFL, the Rams. So they're good. Pass rush, they're 6th in the NFL. Total defense, they're 6th in the NFL.
Is that
so they're good. Huh?
Is that PFF?
That's PFF grading. Yeah, that's not statistical or
Yeah.
anything. It's
Right now,
grading.
numbers wise, they're fourth in total. And yeah, that sounds right. You're right. We're right in the same room with one another. So where do you think the biggest mismatch is heading into this game?
The biggest mismatch is probably Devontae Adams on Adoree Jackson.
Devontae Adams on
For them, on us.
Yeah.
The biggest mismatch for us is probably Saquon on that run defense.
Okay, but I also think it's AJ on them corners.
Yeah. Who do they have at cornerback? Who's their corners?
Bro. I mean, I think it's their corners.
Who do they got at cornerback?
I know that they got Cam Kitchen.
Oh my God, they got Emmanuel Forbes. Tell me that guy's starting this week.
He is.
Oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. Kevin Patullo, I need more than 5 yards per attempt this week. They should be annihilating that guy. They should be going to him all.
I said it earlier. The biggest mismatch in this game is AJ on them corners. Look who they're fucking starting.
I like their safeties. They got good safeties.
Yeah.
Cam Curl and Cam Pickens. Yeah, I like them. Quentin Lake is their nickelback. Left corner is Kobe Durant.
Bro, if you can't get the football down the field to AJ Brown in this game, my opinion, KP is on. I'll tell you what, that Seek flame gets turned. If AJ comes out of that game with 5 fucking targets against Emmanuel Forbes, they're starting Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown.
Who's he covering? AJ or Devontae? I guess either one, wherever we line them up.
Okay, pick the knife you want to die by.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be good. See, I look.
That's to me is how's that not a glaring weakness?
This is where I think, and I know some people are just like, all right, we won. Who cares about the passing game? If you're a great football team, you take advantage of that mismatch. That's what you do. That's what you do in the NFL. You take advantage of mismatches like that. And you got one of the biggest mismatches you'll ever see with those Rams cornerbacks on our receivers. So come on, Patullo. Come on, Patullo. Take the straitjacket off Jalen Hurts. Let Jalen Hurts play ball. Come on, baby. Come on.
Okay. Is the criticism of Kevin Patullo unjust, fair, or you're not sure?
I think it's fair. Dude. Again, I gave you that stat, and I know it's not the most end-all, be-all stat, but it's like, why is when Jalen Hurts attempting passes against 2 teams who did what they could to take away the run, why is it the lowest it's ever been? They've completely minimized and reduced their offense. They've gotten rid of all of the deep shots. They've gotten rid of all of the threats downfield, and they're putting it all on Saquon Barkley in this offensive line. That's not quite in cylinder or clicking in all cylinders yet. And that's okay. It's week 3, but I think they got to take more chances down the football field. I think Kevin Patullo needs to figure it out here. Again, as we talked about, and you said this yesterday, and many people take this as a slight, but this is facts. Dude, this isn't a learn on the job thing, man. All right. Man. Like you either can do this or you cannot do this. We're trying to win another Super Bowl. We're not trying to teach you how to be an offensive coordinator so you can go on and leave and be some head coach somewhere the same way Steichen did and the same way Kellen Moore did. All right? You either can do it or you cannot. That's what I'm waiting to see from Kevin Patullo. I'm not really in it here for the, give him time. Give him time. No, we don't have time. All right?
Do you believe that Nick Sirianni made the Brian Johnson hire and the Kevin Patullo hire so that he could have more influence on the offense?
So who could have more influence, Nick?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think. I don't.
Well, you told me that he was being rewarded.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe that was part of it. I think there's also just kind of a part of the human element of. Like
there we go. We've fallen. Here's the problem I have. I don't want a human element.
Right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't want
the human element.
But don't you think that does exist?
Unfortunately, with Nick, yeah. Because you know what I want to do? Who's the best guy for the job? Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Kevin, it's your turn. Well, you know what? It's your turn to be the next kindergarten.
Well, what about it? They might have lost Kevin Patullo if they didn't elevate him.
So what? Go get me Kellen Moore. What are you afraid of? You went out of the building last year
I don't disagree.
It resulted in holy shit. If we're worried about feelings now, you're in the wrong profession.
I agree. I just wonder if that came in because, Kevin was the next guy in line. He's had the 4 years
I hate
here.
that.
He's put in the work. You know how it is though. So I agree with you, but we can't just act or live in a world where we act like it doesn't exist. It does exist. It does exist.
Well, they skipped over him twice. Well, so now they're making his feelings feel better now?
That might have came down to it. I don't know. I don't really care. All I want to know is if the dude can fucking do it or not.
That's right.
If you can do it, great. But if this passing game looks like this every week, I mean, hey, Kellen Moore wasn't all that impressive last year, but at least when this team needed to beat a team in the air, they did it, and they were capable of doing it, and they did it in a way that was dominant. Okay? So far, Kevin Patullo is not drawing up shit. Jalen Hurts is literally back there like, hey, dude, if you don't make something happen on this play, you guys are cooked. We're lucky we got a player that's as good of a playmaker as Hurts is. Oh, please.
Bro,
I'm stressed about this offense.
I heard you say that today, and I heard you go like this. Oh, well, maybe he's the next guy in line. I'm like, who fucking cares? Boo-hoo. I don't care about that bullshit, man. Or the other famous one is that, well, the guy's been in the building. He's my friend, and I want to give him fuck that. I want the best guy for the gig, dude. Yeah. You know what? Now you're starting to talk like the Cowboys. And this is where they get in their own way. Do you not agree the Eagles front office gets in their own way sometimes of really having completely year in and year out success? How do you go like this, Xander? How do you go from the top-ranked, talented offensive football team to a guy that's fallen off a cliff because you're not – do you think they're developing Jalen Hurts as a pocket passer?
No, they're definitely not. We talked about this yesterday too. And somebody brings up Scott Loeffler in the chat. Scott Loeffler is a new quarterbacks coach. All right, well, what's going on, quarterback coach? What's going on, offensive coordinator? And again, this goes back to what we laid out in the beginning of this segment, why this is not great long-term. You have a player that presumably is your franchise quarterback for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. You can't just stop evolving and developing and building on that player. Tom Brady was still getting better at 40 years old. So for anybody that thinks Jalen Hurts is just a finished product at 27 years old, you're sadly mistaken.
But how do you get better when you're constantly revolving dooring him?
They're reducing it. That's what I mean. They don't even believe the quarterback has to get better. Don't get better. In fact, do less. Just don't turn it over.
Do less is the worst thing that you said that's true. Okay, let me ask you this then. Kellen Moore wasn't a good offensive coordinator last year. He was good in spots. What did he do? What did he do to help the quarterback grow?
Well, I think to be fair, all right.
Barkley was the king.
If you strictly look at it from that perspective, he was very underwhelming. But for that given team in that given year, he actually, and now hindsight's always 20/20, but he actually did the perfect thing. And the thing I like about it, run the ball because it worked.
Okay,
right?
Something that's foreign to him. Something that was foreign to him.
Right, but this is what I like about it. When it didn't work last year running the ball, the very few instances it didn't work, he had the proper plan and the proper approach for Jalen Hurts and the weapons to take advantage of it. Okay, you're going to stack the box? Perfect. The dagger was born, right? So, yeah. So again, I agree with you. If Kellen was hired to make us a high-powered passing offense, you're right. He didn't. We were the 29th in football. It wasn't crazy good. But he coached in the moment the team to do the right thing. And when that thing didn't work, plan B looked just as good. And that's right now where I'm worried about Patullo, because they've come in with Saquon as the first option, which I don't have a problem with. But when that thing didn't work, or that thing isn't running on the same cylinder, or it's not getting 5-6 yards of carry, that they're not even trying to move the ball in the air. It's all on Jalen Hurts' legs.
This is what I would say to that. Also, if Kellen Moore had come back into the offensive coordinator, he would have been exposed in these first 2 games. Because if the run game's not there, you're turning the ball over in the air if he's throwing it the way that they're
Well, we
throwing it.
didn't
Now,
have that
maybe
problem last year.
no. He is a better play caller when it comes to being a pass coordinator because that's what he is. And he's had experience doing it. So maybe I'll take that back and go, maybe the passing game would definitely be a lot better. But if the offensive line is not producing and the offensive line is injured, you're going to have that offense exposed because Hurts is going to take more sacks and there's going to be more chances of turnover. Dude, I'm telling you, the run game has been the absolute issue here and why that offense is getting out to a rocky start.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but I think the run game's not working because they completely neutralized any threat that they once had in the passing game, dude.
I think it's Becton and Landon being it. Becton being gone and
Well,
Landon
that's
being
part of it.
I mean, how long do you think?
Look, and this is the problem. All right, this is a problem. Fredo, I'm not picking on you personally, but he says, Xander, are y'all missing the point? Kellen has called plays for years. Patullo hasn't called any plays until 2 weeks ago. So, Fredo, we took a $255 million offense, the best offense in football, with the most amount of weapons, and you gave it to a guy who needs training wheels, who's learning on the job, like he just got hired to be the manager at Outback. Are you kidding me, Fredo?
Hey, you basically just answered your own question that Kellen Moore was smart enough to know that we have to adjust and we have to do this. Kevin Patullo, how would he know that, dude? You hired the 31st offensive coordinator right now in pro football for a guy who just won the MVP award in the Super Bowl. Make that make sense to me. Xander, make that make sense. Because what you said, he's the next guy up and he's my buddy. Fuck, dude. You're at the threshold of winning a Super Bowl.
I agree with that. Now, I don't know if that's. I mean, look.
If you don't have Hurts and Vic, you're not going anywhere right now.
Look. It's week 2, right? And it's week 3. I mean, we got to give them a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them a little bit of time. But I don't want to see learning. I want to see evolving of the offense. I'm not trying to have Patullo learn how to be an offensive coordinator. I mean, we've already talked about why that's not a good thing to do, right? But we do need the offense to evolve and get better a little bit. I think that's fair to say, And then here's a comment. Philadelphia says, Xander, we must take advantage of our strength before they ban it. We must move these teams the F out of the way like last year. Please do not distract the team. We're not a pretty ball team. But Killa, last year, when the defense was stupid enough to do everything they could to stop Barkley, the team was successful moving the ball through the air. It wasn't their week in, week out formula. And I'm not saying to change the formula, but if you reduce yourself and make yourself solely and strictly a one-trick pony, you become much easier to stop. And so far through 2 weeks, Killa, they have not even asked Jalen Hurts to throw the ball downfield. He had one deep ball to Jahan Dotson and one toss-up hospital ball for Devontae Smith. Let's call a spade on a zero blitz where the blitz was in his face. He tossed the thing up to Devontae. That's it. That's the only thing we've schemed for an explosive play outside of relying on Saquon.
And last year, your games were Ravens, Steelers, Washington, NFC title game, and Super Bowl that you utilized where you needed the passing game, correct? Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some of these supers, my friend.
Yeah, let's do it. Appreciate everybody for being here. We got some good supers today. Kimberly, what's up, Kimberly? Hurts has to call everybody in the league for advice. He's not getting it from his own. Remember he did that with
he did that with Wink Martindale.
Yeah. Big Fish Little Boat says, not a lot of talk on how Reed felt pressured to go for it on 4th on the Chiefs side. Eagles play mind games with
I
good
brought
teams.
that up that I thought Andy Reid cost himself. There's 3 parts of that game on what and how he put his team in a position. But he had to gamble. The 4th down plays on that side of the 50 was not going to be something. If you didn't make those kicks, you're giving Jalen Hurts in that offense, you only have to make 2 or 3 plays. They kick the field goals. Elliott is back on being Elliott again. That's 6 points. And then the other guy drops the ball in the end zone. Kelsey, there's your game, man. Andy Reid had a shitty play calling game in that football game. He really did. That was a shitty play calling game.
Here's Brian Pumper. What's up, Pump? I mean, of course, we're 28th on third downs. We got a big fat bum wearing number 8 in the lineup. Howie really cooked the repeat. Dory Jackson's number 8, for those who don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Pump. I tell you what, your work is getting better, Pump. I will give you that.
Here's Abe. Xander is right. Vic gives his staff fluidity to coach their players, yet Nick nor Petullo do the same for Jalen. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Let the man play. Agreed.
Dude, I told you yesterday, Xander, they micromanaging him.
Dude, I'd rather this team fail because they let Jalen be Jalen than put him in this straitjacket and have zero explosive plays and watch the best receivers we've ever had not even have a chance to catch footballs. It's stupid, in my opinion. Here's Kimberly. You're right.
They're making the Eagle offense sound like, right now, get this. And look at what the Eagles offense did against the Cowboy defense. And I watched Russell Wilson go for 450 against that Cowboy defense.
Here's Kimberly. You're right. This is a pussy offense and coaching.
Oh, woo! Kimberly. That's that Queens girl in you there, Kimberly. I got
Kimberly
you.
Is spicy. I think you missed one of Abe's of earlier. He said, all you got to say is Dez didn't catch it like Lamb.
That's right. I think Dez caught that pass against the Packers. I'll always say that, and I'll go down saying
well, that's another point, by the way. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, if. I don't want to play that game either, everybody, but luck is not something you want to rely on. And CeeDee Lamb was a couple egregious drops away from 200 yards on that defense. So they got to fix up that secondary a little bit, but I do think the defense is looking good. I feel pretty good about the defense right now. Sights are on Kevin Petullo. They are.
Here, I want to read you something here before I let you go. So TBS, before we get, again, Battle Royale's coming up. Don't forget, the great Jackie Slater's joining us also. That'll be at 5:30. Legendary offensive lineman. Also, Craig Carton will be joining us on Friday. So we're going to talk to Craigie and get his thoughts, too, on the Eagles in the NFL. CBS came out with their power rankings for quarterbacks.
Okay.
You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Lamar 1.
Yeah.
Allen 2.
Allen 1. Good.
Herbert 3. Love 4. Hurts 5.
This is based on this year?
Yeah, so far, first 2.
A little high for Hurts through 2 weeks right now.
Stafford 6. Goff 7. Mayfield 8. Daniels 9. Dak Prescott, number 10.
Dak's not had a bad year.
No.
Yeah, no. Dak's throwing the ball well right now. I mean, he's got the weapons.
Dak was great in that Giant game, even when
I think that's pretty good. The only one I don't really agree with, say those bottom 5 again. I don't think Jaden Daniels has been that great.
Stafford 6. I had Daniels 10. I think I had Daniels 10 yesterday. I did. They got him 9. Stafford 6, Goff 7, Mayfield 8, Daniels 9, and Dak 10.
Yeah, that's not bad. Baker's done okay because they've had some injuries.
That list, though?
I think it's fine. I mean, I think it's a little high for Herbert.
No, I want you to Lamar 1, Allen 2, Herbert 3, Love 4, Hurts 5, Stafford 6, Goff 7, Mayfield 8, Daniels 9, Dak 10. What's odd about that list? There's no Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Mahomes is devoid of weapons, my friend.
There's no Mahomes on that list.
Yeah.
How could you have a top 10 quarterback list and not? That's how bad the weapons are. Yeah. And that's what makes that game against the Chiefs that the Eagles played. The quarterback is being affected so poorly right now by the lack of weapons they have in Kansas City. Right?
Yeah. Alfredo's onto it here. This is what we talked about in this segment. Xander, what did Hurts say in the presser right after the NFC Championship game? Paraphrasing, I guess they let me out of the straitjacket. Now they got him in a stronger one.
See?
Fact.
This Kevin,
hey. They're not even at there. Just don't turn it over. Dude, fuck that. We have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Pardon my French.
I don't believe in training wheel coordinators. Okay? I don't believe in training wheel coordinators. Not when you have experienced guys. Hey, before we get the guys on here, I don't believe in Brian Schottenheimer being a head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You know why? I'm paying all that money on that side of the football for Dak and for CD and for them to win championships with a training wheels head fucking football coach.
Yeah, but we all know the problems in Dallas. They're different there, bro. It's all in Jerry.
That's right, because you never
Mark knows. I mean,
we'll figure this out. The only two guys that they've ever had in the building that were legendary coaches, all won.
Yeah.
Parcells and Jimmy.
And now Jerry's ego is too big. He doesn't want anybody. That's why people talked about Dion. I'm like, dude, he's not hiring Dion. Dion is a magnet for attention and media and stardom and all those different things. Jerry needs to be the star. All right. You're bringing Brian Schottenheimer. You're bringing Jason Garrett. You're bringing Mike McCarthy. You're bringing all these emasculated dudes that aren't going to speak up, aren't going to have their, aren't going to be able to kind of run the show their way. That's Jerry's dream, man. We all know that.
Xander, but get this week. So Deion Sanders is 14-14 as a head coach. That'd be right up Jerry's alley to hire a superstar man and a guy who's a mediocre coach. He's 14-14. Gonna hire Deion? What kind of impact is Deion having on that place?
I don't know. I was just saying somebody with that.
I got it.
But all right, so it's good stuff, brother. I'll catch you tomorrow. All right?
You got it, man. I appreciate it. Boy, I'll tell you what, man. There was a part of me that was rooting for that 79-yard field goal that Cowboy guy had to make to beat the New York Giants, because last week, did I not hear Philly 500 go, you watch, that Giants team's going to beat that team. And sure enough, the Giants had to go and the Cowboys had to go into OT. And am I looking at like Sierra Wilson threw for 450 yards in that ball game? Holy Madonna to me. Now, I will say this. Dak shredded. I mean, Dak shredded at the end of that ball game, that Giant defense. So, I don't know. And I got to say, man, boy, I'll tell you, Russell Wilson put up all them yards on that Cowboy defense, and Jalen couldn't. Mr. 100. And there's my boy, Bobo Petulo. Holy cow, is that guy in trouble. Without further ado, this could be a very, very good. And by the way, don't forget, Jackie Slater will join us, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, 20 years. He played in the National Football League. Will join us at 5:30, and we will talk to our friend. This could get a little fiery here because, quite frankly, Bobo Petulo's not cutting it after 8 quarters. But we got more football to play. The Cowboys are 1-1 by an amazing field goal. The longest, I think, in Cowboy history, too. 64 yards. Without further ado, the man today, who, by the way, I think needs another hand. And I don't want to give him another hand because I think he got another hand today. And then we also have our friend Philly 500, the legendary Mark Holmes, and also the legendary Philly 500. How you doing, fellas?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All good, man.
I figured this would be a good day for a twofer because I just had a colonoscopy 4 hours ago. So I figured I'd come in here and get another one.
Wait a minute here. I thought you were going to get one after that Giants game.
That was more of a heart attack, man. That was crazy.
Give
me
your emotions going through that game. And by the way, I'm watching that thing. Hey, Philly. And I go, this guy's not making a 60. There's no fucking way he's making a 64-yard field goal. The Cowboys don't have that kind of luck. Tell me you're up and down going in there with all your emotions.
Me or Philly?
You.
Oh, I was in there with my feelings like that. But here's the thing about Brandon Aubrey, the ex-soccer player. He has 2 kicks of over 64. In the history of the NFL, there's only 4. He's got 2 of them. So if you can get to midfield with that guy, you got a chance. And, yes, that game was crazy, but our secondary is really beat up. And you got Diggs, who just got back. I mean, we all said all along that the Cowboys are going to score like 35-plus points a game. Still holding to that.
All right. I got to go over to Philly. Woo, baby. Kevin Petulo, baby. Holy cow almighty. I tell you, let me tell you this to you, Mark. Why do you give the keys of a Ferrari to a guy who only knows how to drive a cement mixer? I don't get it. I mean, and you know what? When you look at the offense right now and the way Kevin Petula, let me put this in. So last week, 14 targets and 80 yards between Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Okay, I mean, Philly, come on, man. Where are we going here with this off? You're 31st in passing. You're 29th in total offense.
So who got the prostate massage, me or Mark?
I was thinking that you're getting the colonoscopy now.
Let's hear it, man. I want to hear you, bro.
What do you want to know?
Tell me what you're making of 8 quarters of football. Still too early?
No, I'm very disappointed with the offense right now. I think it's been rough. I don't like what I've seen in the first 2 games. I really didn't like what I saw more this Chiefs game than the Cowboys game. But I mean, it is early and it can be fixed. But I think it just seems like they just are too predictable. Like when I watch that game back, it's a very predictable offense. You know what they're going to do. And they don't really want to open it up. They don't want to stretch the field. They don't want to take chances. And I just wonder right now if this coordinator is too conservative for the team that you got on offense over there.
Mark, how are you feeling about 1-1 so far out of the gate? Is this kind of what you predicted, that the Cowboys would come out of the gate 1-1?
Yeah, I mean, come on. We were playing you guys to start the season. Nobody really thought that we'd had a chance at that, although we did have a chance at that. I didn't think it would be such a struggle against the Giants, but typically that's the kind of game that the Cowboys would end up losing as opposed to winning. So maybe that's a good thing and impetus to help them. What does make me feel good about that is when you look at the Giants' front 7, they're one of the better ones in football. And the fact that the Cowboys are able to put 40 points up on it. And it wasn't like they were being nice to Dak. They were going after his ass and seeing Dak Prescott running. The offense is doing really, really well. And I've got an interesting stat for you. And nobody would have thought this would have been happened by this time this year. Javonte Williams, the guy who y'all laughed about right now, is averaging 4.6 yards a carry and has 3 yards more than Saquon at this point. And Saquon is only averaging, I believe, 3.5 yards a carry. 3.7. I'm sorry, 3.7. So yeah, take that.
No, give Mark his Super Bowl in-season trophy again.
No.
His September trophy. Yeah, polish that Super Bowl September ring. You're 1-1 and you're proud. I'm 2-0 and I'm upset. It's the difference between winners and losers. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, here. I will ask you this, though, but to Mark's point, you bring a great point up here because, Philly, that looks like Saquon Giants, but I don't think it's Saquon. I'll tell you what I think the problem is. Dickerson's injury is bigger than what people think. He's dragging that wheel around with him. Steen's not Becton, and you're not getting the push. Dude, if you watch the 22, Chris Jones kicked the shit out of Landon Dickerson in that ball game. It's not because Landon Dickerson can't hold up. He had a great game against him in the Super Bowl. I think that injury internally is affecting the passing game, and Jalen's got to make up for the lost yardage that Barkley's not producing. That's why you're seeing more of that. I think that's more of a concern is the internal offensive line. It's not playing well.
Well, I mean, we talked about this last week. Why not give Dickerson the week off to rest that back when you're playing an AFC opponent? So, that could be an issue. But I also think that, at some point in the NFL, when you're one-dimensional, like, a defense will stop it. I don't care who you are. You can't be one-dimensional. And really, if you look at what teams are giving the Eagles, they don't take it. There's no play action fake. They don't play action. They don't throw. Like, sometimes, the running game opens up the passing game, but sometimes you need that passing game to open up the running game a little bit. And I just think they're so clogged up and so predictable that I think defenses are, they kind of know what's coming. I mean, how many times did they run to the same spot, the same two places they go? They never bounce it outside. They don't play action. They never roll Hurts out. I mean, I just think that you're dealing with a very vanilla, very predictable offense that until you go against the grain and do some things that you don't usually do, I think defenses are just selling out on that run. They're going to have to throw it a little bit, I think.
Mark, how well do you think Dak's getting out of the gate here so far? How well do you think he's playing?
I think he's playing outstanding. The fact that that list that you read had him at 10th. Sorry, he's playing at a hell of a lot better level than that.
Get the hell out of here.
The
guy should have 8 interceptions. I've never seen teams drop so many.
I know you're not talking about a quarterback.
Are you kidding me?
A running back.
Did you see how many interceptions the Giants dropped last week? It was at least 3 or 4. And then the Eagles dropped, 4 or 5?
25 seconds.
That's
25
ridiculous.
seconds. They get him in range to kick a field goal to go in overtime.
Why don't you talk about the best player on the Cowboys? The referees.
Hold on, bro. You and that push and shove that shit up your ass.
Are you kidding me?
Because I know you're not talking about official. It's bad enough that they line up on side, but now they're jumping on sides and not
against
calling.
The Eagles. What'd you have against the Giants? Eagles had 9 penalties against the Cowboys.
And it should have been 15, bro.
14 penalties.
It should have been 15
of some of the worst calls I've ever seen. The Giants should have kicked the shit out of them, but the refs kept them in. The only time they call penalty on Dallas Hills is if it's offsetting. If Dallas gets a penalty, it's offsetting or it's on special teams. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Like
Dallas best team referees, and this guy complains about the refs against the Eagles.
Philly, I do recall you saying on your broadcast when you did the tush push, I think they got away with one on that one where they literally jumped up offsides.
Oh, and I admit it. So admit your team gets all the breaks with the refs.
We have some of the most infamous bad calls against us.
Nobody pushes the Cowboys like the referees.
That's the truth. Crap.
Mark,
14 penalties, 160 yards. Are you kidding me? Some of the worst calls I've ever seen.
I want to throw this at you here. Then, obviously, I want Philly to comment on both of our numbers here. The only quarterback in pro football right now not to throw a touchdown pass is Jalen Hurts. Right now, he's on pace for 2,100 yards passing. I mean, again, and I happen to agree with Philly on this one. I mean, the guy's playing like he's in a straitjacket. I mean, you give a training wheels offensive coordinator the keys to a guy who just won his Super Bowl MVP. This thing is just not making sense here to me. But I mean, Jalen Hurts right now playing football right now. I mean, Philly, let me go slide it over to you right now. How do you think he's playing?
I think I feel like he's playing with like 2 hands tied behind his back.
Yeah, I agree. That's
how I feel.
Hey, but real quick, before I want this to be said, you're not 2-0 if he's not playing in that huddle. If he's not there, you're not 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
With those legs.
I agree with everything Hurts does. He gets the job done, unlike Dak. But yes, I think he's playing with 2 hands tied behind his back. They've got to help him out. They've got to open up this offense. Okay, here's an example. Like, I was rewatching the game, and you know how many times they had 12-man personnel out there? They had 2 tight ends without Goddard. Now, why don't you run 4 wide receivers? Where's Mechie? Where's Dotson? Those guys are better than the 2 tight ends you have. So it's like you don't even put the right guys in there. I almost wonder if they're almost like a little arrogant. Like, it's like, hey, we're the Eagles and we got all this talent and we don't care if you know what we're going to do. We're going to just do it anyways.
You just made the point there, because I get this, Mark. So Calcaterra misses a block, right? He's an instrumental part in missing a block on a play that was going to be a successful play. You still call that fucking play knowing that guy can't block? That's ego and arrogant, knowing that. Call it different play. to make you successful. It doesn't make sense to me. All right, Mark, I got to give you another one up the rear here.
Oh, geez.
Um,
Haven't I had enough of that today?
I know, man. I feel for you too, and I hate to do this to you, man. So I'll add a little bit to it here. So here's the difference between the two franchises. They signed Zadarius Smith. You signed Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, do you think Clowney brings anything to the team?
Well, last year on Carolina, 5.5 sacks, 40
Not
tackles.
bad, not horrible.
Okay, and here's the way you have to look at it. Carolina being a bad team, he was the only real defender that was on that defense. So you figure he's going to get the lion's share of the attention and things. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead and say that he is Micah Parsons or anything like that, but if he can give you some good snaps in there in the mix, I think you're going to be at least better. The thing that will help the Cowboys is Diggs is still recovering. Diggs, originally, they were hoping that he would be in by the end of September. He's already playing and ended up playing after the first week, 26 snaps, 60. So he's not quite there and in shape because he didn't have a training camp. You will get Savon Ravel, a rookie, that be it he is a good cornerback, and you will be getting Overshown, who is chomping at the bit sometime probably in October. So you will get some more people out there, and I think that they will actually do a little bit better in the future. They can't get worse.
Philly, who has more sacks this year, Zadarius Smith or Jadeveon Clowney?
Zadarius Smith.
Are you happy with him so far? I
Yeah.
thought he played really well.
Yeah, I thought he played really, really good. I was very happy with him. I knew he would be good if he had anything left. I just wondered because of his age,
Yeah.
But it looks like he still could play. I mean, he made an immediate impact in the first
He
drive
was their
of
best
the
edge,
game.
right? He was their best edge player.
So I thought he was really, really good, and I think he'll help stabilize that line a lot. So I'm to be honest with you, I mean, we talk about the offense. I'm actually I'm pleasantly surprised with the defense so far.
Wait a minute, hold on. I thought you guys had the greatest defense in the world. Now you're talking about an aging edge rusher coming in to stabilize the line. I mean, I could say something like that about the Cowboys because we were ass, and
I don't
nobody
see how
looked
you
at
can
us.
say anything of you're the Cowboys. You lost to us. You just lost to us. I don't know how you could think you say anything. You haven't won Super Bowl 30 years. You beat the
You're
Giants.
the Super Bowl champions, and you're talking about a guy you just signed stabilizing your line.
Yeah, you remember the guy that you said had 4.5 sacks and that you shouldn't get excited about him? Now you're sitting there doing the same exact thing with Jadeveon Clowney, who's not nearly the guy he is. I think it's.
What are you making
We
Cowboys
weren't the Super Bowl champions and
I am
literally living on my channel all
champions.
offseason telling me
we were
how
the Super
great
Bowl champions.
you are. I said we're in the rebuilding process.
We don't have to make an excuse.
Oh,
we're here. We're 2-0. We're 2-0. What's our record again?
Mark, do you think
week one?
Do you think your team's getting better?
I can say
is
our
it
offense
better
is
than a year ago?
Well, here's what I can tell you. Everybody will point out that right now our defense is 28th, 27th in points and 30th in yardage. That's about where we were last year with Micah Parsons. So it's actually not any worse. But I can say that the offense starting out this year with Dak Prescott and having Pickens, having Javonte Williams is night and day different from last year's. Last year, we didn't make any hay last year. We didn't get any separation. When you look at somebody like Kayvon Turpin, who's getting 6.1 yards of separation, we were worst in the league in separations. So I feel that we are a better team than we were last year.
Well, guys, check it out. Dallas Cowboys right now are third in total offense. Wow. Now, it's early. It's trending. I get it. We got
against two good defenses.
And we have to wait. Yeah, that's and
now the Giants have a good defense.
Well, they have a good front seven. I wouldn't know.
They have a good front seven.
I don't really think Philly, their back end is all that great. So they've got 6 touchdowns, but get this, they're third in total offense. And the Cowboys right now are 7th in passing offense. And to Mark's point about rushing, I'm shocked. They're 11th in running offense. So
we were dead last year in the first half.
Right now you're 5th.
What's the record? What's the record in the division? 1-1. Who beat him?
Oh man, yeah. Okay, well, we'll see where it is by the end of
Who
the
beat
year,
him?
there, buddy. Okay, yeah.
Do
Who
you
beat him?
feel like
You mean the struggling, horrible Eagles that can't
Congratulations.
do anything right?
Mark?
Yes, you're right.
Do you like your chances the next time in Arlington?
Yes, actually, I do. Yes, I do. Because here's what I'm going to say is getting Overshown back will be huge. Putting that guy in the middle, getting some time with Clowney finally on the field, getting Diggs finally up to speed with some more time underneath him, and hopefully with having the Bears. Of course, we got the Packers next with the week after, but having Carolina and the Jets, you got a chance to actually get some momentum and actually start to feel a little bit better as the season goes on. The Eagles, you still have a tough road to hoe going forward here.
They're
Rams and
amazing.
Bucks.
Dallas is amazing. They're amazing. Amazing team.
much?
What an amazing quarterback coach. Offense, unbelievable. How did they find a running back like that? I've never seen a running back like that. Oh my god, amazing.
Hey, Philly, how much do you feel the loss of Dallas Goedert?
Well, I mean, because who else is Jalen Hurts going to throw to? I mean, he's not throwing down the field. You know what I mean? So Goddard, you see why he went to he got so many catches week 1, right? Because he was his outlet. Yeah, I mean, I think you miss him. I just think they got it. They got the talent on offense. They just got to make the adjustments. I think they've got to open up. They got to open up this offense, man. I do.
Holy cow! Williams has more rushing yards than Barkley.
I told you.
Wow, amazing.
And 0.9 yards per carry more.
Wow.
Make that make sense.
I'm sure that'll be like that all year long.
I don't know. What did I tell you about 2,000-yard rushers the next year?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just yeah.
Well, it's a trend. It is a trend on that.
Oh,
yeah. Philly's not, but hey, Mark, you seem like you've had something pulled out of you today. I mean, like there's a little energy issue. I mean, I know you had a rough one today here, man. I mean,
man, I'm still groggy from the anesthesia.
Surely your Cowboys are making you feel better.
You know the thing about the Cowboys.
Do you feel better about them? Are you more encouraged about them? Because you hear Philly's right. Everybody in Philadelphia right now is like, I don't know. Okay, but how are you? How are Cowboy fans feeling with this?
I feel like I said, I'm not sure which way to feel about it because I'm happy that sometimes you have bad games. Sometimes you have bad games, but good teams find a way to win. I'm not saying that we're a good team, but had we lost that game, it would look a hell of a lot worse than had we didn't. That sometimes you have a game like that actually sets you up to say, we're never out of it. We're never out of it, and we can win.
Are you never out of it because you're quarterback?
Between my quarterback and our wide receiver, he can't kick a 64-yard field goal if my quarterback didn't lead him down the field in 25 seconds.
Look how many penalties were on that call.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Hey Philly, how do you think the Cowboys are playing?
I think they're the most overrated team in football right now. I mean, they should
22nd in the NFL. What are you talking about?
They should have gotten crushed. I mean, the Giants stink.
You think they should be 0-2?
Stink. Yeah, they should be 0-2. Guy scored with 25 seconds left, and then the stupid Giants play 15 yards off the receivers. They only have to go 15 yards with that guy.
Philly, you should be 0-2 too if Kelsey catches the pass and. I mean, he catches those.
Well, that's a lot of things happen to have 2 games work out that way. I'm just talking about one game. Okay. The Giants, 14 penalties, Sills. Who gets 14 penalties for 160 yards?
Did you see the?
And they were bad calls.
Are you saying they weren't legitimate calls?
I'm saying they were.
Are you saying that they weren't literally head slapping our defender? Dude literally pulled this for another zip code.
Half those penalties should have been
okay.
called.
You know
what? I gotta ask you.
Hold it. Wait. They had 4 penalties on one guy in the first drive. They still got a touchdown. So it didn't affect them.
Giants,
it didn't affect them.
They got robbed.
Well, let me ask you.
Giants got robbed. I hate the Giants, but they got robbed.
Do you think this 2025 Philadelphia Eagle team, Mark Holmes, is overrated?
I don't think they are the same team as they were last year. And I think Landon Dickerson's injury is worse than what people lead on. He is not the same guy that he was last year.
Chris
And
Jones killed him.
And I think that's part of the problem of your running game right now. Now, I don't know what's going on with A.J. Brown, but he looks like, he's going the company line, but you got to look and say he's getting a little flustered out here with not getting the damn ball. And your offense, I hate to say this, this is as bad as watching J.J. McCarthy's offense, man, with the Minnesota Vikings. It's unwatchable watching the freaking Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excitement whatsoever.
2-0.
Hey.
Yeah, you're 2-0. I didn't say you were a bad team. I said you're unwatchable.
Do you, Mark, I'll ask you a couple more last questions here. Mark, do you think the Philadelphia Eagles need the tush push to be successful in the NFL?
Oh, take that shit away, and they're done. Take that away, and they're done. Look, you want to talk about penalties and getting away with shit. Every single time their guards are in the freaking neutral zone.
Oh my God! This guy must have took too much anesthesia today. He's delirious.
What about you, Philly? Do you think that the Eagles need the tush push to be successful?
No. What are they going to do? You just run a quarterback sneak. It's the same thing. They're not going to stop them on a quarterback sneak either. The tush push is like.
Oh, they just like push. That's like
the
touching on
league
the
has
ass.
villainized the tush push this week. You see what they figured out? Hey, we can't. It doesn't work how we tried to make it work. So now we'll just say we can't officiate it. So
they teamed up. They teamed up on you.
The league is ganging up and trying to turn sentiment against us so that they'll ban it. And they'll ban it, and it's going to happen.
Okay, look,
it's going to happen.
Deal.
They're going to ban it.
They don't need to ban it.
And then Hurts,
but you need to go ahead and officiate it the way it's supposed to be done.
Okay.
And also,
you have to officiate.
Wait.
No. Then you have to officiate when the defenses are always lining up in the neutral zone. For a year, nobody calls it when they line up over the ball.
And here's the other thing: if you can push an offensive player, then the defense should be able to push a defensive player when they're trying to block a field goal. Fair is fair.
What? You're going to push
like a leverage play?
Like a leverage play. You used to could do that, but the NFL ended up saying, no, you cannot push a defensive player for leverage.
Do it. I say do it. Nobody's stopping the Cowboys or any other team from doing the tush.
I hadn't thought that, Mark. I don't
know. Nobody's stopping any of these other teams from doing it. Everybody else go do it. Go do it.
Mark, you're saying have the linebackers behind the defensive tackles pushing them.
Yes.
I haven't seen anybody do that.
Because they can. They were actually doing that on field goal blocking and stuff because they're helping to push the guy into the gap. They made it illegal.
Type of leverage kind of deal.
I say push everybody. Push everybody.
Philly, you think they're banned? This thing's being banned, though. This is the last year.
It's gone. It's gone. But the thing is like the idea and the narrative out there is like only the Eagles are getting away with something. They're cheating somehow. It's like every other team can line up and do the same play anytime they want. They just can't do it. They're not good at it. It's not our fault.
Why do you think
we're being punished for it?
Okay,
again. Mark, why do you think that the Eagles can't win without that play? It by the way, it is in their arsenal.
If they call, just deal with me for a second here. If they called offsides on that play, because clearly, regardless of them lining up offsides, they fired out before the ball moved.
That was one game.
Oh my God!
I did see the Chiefs line up, but I did see the Eagles do it too. I did. They're not officiating it.
I'm
Philly's
just saying
right on that.
That changes the complexion of the game. It does. If you do not get that first down, it changes the whole game.
What makes you think they can't get a first down without it?
It's a hell of a lot easier to make it when it's
Jalen Hurts.
But wait, why don't they then, Philly? If they don't need it, why do they use it if they don't need it?
Because it's legal. It's there. Why not? I think a lot of it's to troll too. I'll be honest with you. I think it's to piss everybody off. I do.
So to be clear, Philly, everything in Philadelphia land is hunky-dory.
Jalen Hurts is 90-something. Jalen Hurts is 90-something% on quarterback sneaks. All right. Saquon Barkley, he's 200-something pounds. A.J. Dillon's another 230. Why people act like they can't get a first down on 3rd and 1 if they don't have it, and that's changing the game somehow. This is crazy talk. And they went off sides in the Chiefs game. They were. But not every other game for the last 2 years have they been off sides. And all of a sudden, in that game, everybody noticed they're always off sides, and it's been like that for 2 years. That's not the case at all.
Last one.
Like that.
Last one here for you. How do you feel, Mark, going into Chicago and into Soldier Field this weekend? It's going to be a 425 game. How do you feel about the Cowboys going in 1-1 against that 0-2 Chicago Bears team?
Well, they better get a win. I actually feel pretty good about that one. They better get a win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we can't beat Chicago with that offense, if our defense can't get right now, our season's over.
What about you, Philly? Rams. Philly, I dubbed this game here. I called it the validation game. You're going to find out how good your defense is, and you're going to find out how your play caller is. Do you know Emmanuel Forbes is starting at corner against A.J. Brown?
Yes,
Bro, I mean, how is that not an advantage to get the passing game going with Emmanuel Forbes? How do you feel about this game? It is in Philly at Lincoln Financial.
It's a huge game. I think this is a huge game with all sorts of playoff seeding implications. This is, it's huge. And look, the Rams look really good. They're playing really well right now. We've got to fix everything on offense. But here's what I think. I think these are the kind of games that Hurts and the Eagles always seem to get up for and be ready for. And people wonder how they're going to respond to this kind of game. And they go out and they play really well. If everything's clicking, I think the Eagles match up really well with the Rams. Rams can't stop the run. They're not great at stopping the run. So if we're running the ball the way we should be able to, we should be able to run on them. Stafford's been pressured or hit like 33% of the times he's dropped back for passes. So I think the defensive line has an advantage there. And, the question is those receivers. Those are really good receivers. And, that's a good team. But I think the Eagles will find a way to win.
If they don't get pressure on Matthew Stafford in this game, and you've got Puka Nacua, and you also have Devontae Adams, and you got him out there, Stafford's going to find that opening, and he's going to find a Dory Jackson. Okay? He's going to find him, man. So, if you don't get pressure on Stafford and get him on his back.
I agree. And I think the pressure's got to come up the middle. I think up the middle is where you need Carter to have a good game. Jordan Davis got to continue to play well. But look, I like this defense, Sills. I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
Makuba has been an answer of prayers. He looks great. Jahad Campbell looks like he's playing well. You can fix this Dory Jackson thing, and I think this defense is ready to go. But yeah, it's a tough game. I
want to give you some love here, Philly. Jordan Davis right now is second in defensive tackles and tackles in the league right now, coming into this third game. So he's starting. I'll tell you what. Obviously, Carter missed the first game. I didn't think Jalen Carter played very well in that game against Kansas City.
He looks out.
And then you hear Vic saying he's not in shape.
Yeah.
So
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan's been good. He's been good. He's got to continue it though. But I like what I've seen.
Hey, Mark, on the way out, just make sure you tell Mozzie Smith I like a nice shine on my shoes, and I like him when he's done shining my shoes. Just make sure that you drop them off near my front door, and I appreciate it. Hey, come on, bro. By the way, I appreciate you playing hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think you will beat the Bears this weekend. Bro, thank you so much.
They're not winning.
Man. They're not winning?
I don't know. It's going to be a tough game for them, though. They should have lost the Giants. I said the Giants were going to win that game. I won a lot of money, though, because I took the 5.5 points. So Giants won some money.
You got the Bears this weekend?
Yeah.
Why does this guy always bet against you, Mark?
Because he's a hater.
I just don't think they're that good. I think they're overrated. And I think the Giants proved my point. And now you got the Bears who can't afford to go 0-3 with their new coach. To me,
Jack's
it's a
playing well,
must-win.
though. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, man. I think he's playing well this year.
Well, 6 interceptions. I don't think he's been all that. I think he's been overrated. He's overrated. He stinks.
Okay. All
Hey,
right.
guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you check out my friend Mark Holmes. Look at him, man. Give us a good. Let me see your post there. There it is. Look at him. He just hates everything right now. Hey, Philly, thank you, guys. I'll see you soon, man.
Thank
Have
you.
a great football weekend.
You
Thank
too,
you,
man.
guys.
Take care. Peace.
Absolutely, man. I give it to Mark, man. Yeah, anytime somebody reaches in your mailbox, it's never good, man. Hey, they reached in Mark's mailbox. Thank God they didn't find any mail, though. So I'm hoping that's a good thing. So, no, man, I got the Cowboys beating the Bears this week at Soldier Field, and they'll go 2-1 on the season. And the running back has actually been very good. And I'll make this point. I'm not going to lie to you when I say this. I actually think the Cowboys' run defense has been better than what it was a year ago, and it looks a little better. So, guys, I appreciate it. Let's pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in the world, for a reason. It's because they win. That's right, folks. Make sure if you have any issues and you've ever been injured at work or any place, you call my friends at Morgan & Morgan and let them defend you to make sure that each and every single one of you will have the best representation in the world. That's what Morgan & Morgan brings. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. and pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Jackie Slater is going to join us in this hour. The legendary offensive lineman for the Los Angeles Rams is going to join us. Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players in the history of the league, will join us. And that'll be at 5:30. So let me ask you guys, do you think the Philadelphia Eagles, Philly said no way, Philly 500 said no way. We appreciate our good friend coming in like he does each and every single Wednesday. Okay? Do you believe that the Eagles need the tush push to be successful? Yes or no? You run it, and it's a staple. Do you need that play to be a successful football team? I'll give you my takeaway here in a minute. Okay? Look at Sue. I think so. Absolutely. Wow. Most definitely. Interesting. I didn't think people in here would say that you need that play to be successful. Okay. I mean, do you believe that that play is instrumental for you to win football games? No, they do not need it. They use it because it's effective and the league hates it. To Philly's point, he thinks they like running that play because they like jamming it in the league's face. Okay? Okay. Now, hey, this counteracts what Philly's saying. It's a 90% conversion rate. Hey, let me say this to you, senor. If I've got a play in my playbook that gives me a 90% chance on the critical fourth down, and nine times out of 10 that I'm going to get that play, and that play is giving me that kind of ratio, that's an integral part of my success. I mean, the trends say it just by what Senor's saying. It's a 90% conversion rate. 9 out of 10 times they get it. That's why they run it on third and first. Get this. It's a great it's a great conversation. How much did they need that play to be successful on short yard? By the way, Senor, if you think about it, with that tush push, you start every sequence of 1st and 10. You started basically at 1st and 9. You do that 10 times. You add up 10 extra additional yards that you pick up in a ball game because you're executing those 10 yards. And in a game of inches, right? And in a game of yards, those 10 yards, you do that over 4 games, you're talking 40 yards of field position. You're giving your football play based on that, right? I mean, you run that play 5 times a game. You're getting 5 yards. 5 yards a game. Add that up over a year and see how much that's an impact in a season for people, especially on critical 3rd and 4th down situations. McMullen says they don't need it, and he knows everything. I think, listen, I don't know if they need it. Here, how about this? Let's add it this way. Philly, let's add it this way. What do you think has a more successful rate? Hey, senor, ask yourself this. if you were going to run a quarterback sneak or you were going to run a tush push, what gives me the best chance of picking up the first down? It's not the quarterback sneak. It's the tush push, right? And right now, the most effective play in Kevin Patullo's playbook is the tush push. That's the most successful play. That's his most successful play. What else would the Eagles run if it was outlawed? It'd be a quarterback sneak, which is going to give you less, in my opinion. It's going to give you less percentages of getting the first down. That play is done this year. But we'll find out next year how important that play was. Because this year will be the last. Hey, Carson Wentz had a great success rate on the tush push. They created it. It's effective. And it's a troll. It's quite literally the perfect trifecta. Right? It pisses people off. Right? It does. It pisses people off. And it's effective. You're getting both ends of it. I agree. I'm going to ask Jackie Slater what he thinks of the tush push. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour. One of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. We'll get his take on it. Less percentages because the defense would line up how they do against the tush push. That's right. You're right. I don't know. I mean, I'm Switzerland on it, and I don't like being that. Says, why are you mad about it? Mad about what? Bro, it's sports talk. I don't get mad at that shit. I get mad. I get mad when I'm out of ketchup. This guy's talking about getting mad at the tush push. Bro, I get mad when my ketchup's out. Guys, I mean, right. Hey, Sills, what are you ticked off about? Well, my ketchup's gone. I like ketchup on everything. There you go. He's actually not mad. Right. Well, so there's a, you could say I'm mad at many things, but like maybe crazy in the head and all that. It's like a power sweep, hard to defend. Okay. No way the Eagles would get 90% conversion rates if it was gone. No way on the quarterback sneak. I agree with you. No way. See, the reaction told me you were a bit upset. Wow. What are you, a psychologist? Look at this. We got a psychologist in here on the keyboard. I'm glad that we have a higher end type of guy watching the show. Here's a psychologist. Woof. Thanks for breaking that down, dude. I'll sleep better at night. Eagles run dives with the expectation of the tush push ran. I absolutely believe if it was banned, it'd be an adjustment. Wouldn't lost them games, but definitely an adjustment. No more laissez-faire offense. Yes. It's 90. Hey, Robert, I appreciate that. By the way, thank you. I happen to agree with this. They'd make adjustments on that. Okay? I get you, bro. I'm only kidding too, man. Okay? I got you, man. Big Seals don't get mad at shit like that. It's sports talk. Do you think that we will win another Super Bowl? And yes. You're not winning it this year, but you will win another Super Bowl in the next 3 years. Yes. I believe that. I told you that. Next 3 years, the Eagles will win a Super Bowl. Yes. You're not winning it this year, though. I think Coach Nick has some more made-up plays. Similar, he kind of said it in his presser. Eagles will be just fine without it. Nick, play calling, designing plays. Please, if Nick has any more plays hidden, throw him away and burn him. He's a horrible coordinator. Okay? Thank you for the super, my friend. Haven't forgot about that you locker story, bro. Appreciate you. Let me give you one. Okay. I got one for you. It concerns Michael Irvin. Do you want to hear the story? All right. So this was going into the 87 year. Should I say this? This is going into the 87 year, and Jimmy Johnson was on a recruiting trip. I think you'll like this, my friend. Diane. I think you'll like it. So we had the music playing downstairs, and we were in the weight room. And I didn't really give a shit what the music was being played. I never cared. I didn't give a shit what the music was. And the whole weight room was filled, so I'm in there. And the brothers wanted to hear rap music. And I like rap music. I'm a gangster rap guy myself and a rock and roll guy, so I don't really care. By the way, Ice Cube's on tomorrow. Okay, hey, did I tell you that? Oh, no, is it tomorrow, Thursday? 5:30, Ice Cube's on. So the legendary Ice Cube's on tomorrow. Anyway, so they wanted to hear rap. Okay? He hasn't heard it, dude. And we're up in the team meeting room, and Michael Irvin and this guy George Myra got into a pushing contest. Michael Irvin was a very hardcore dude back then. And he came in there, and as soon as the meeting was over, we're on these tiered things. I'm sitting in the front row. I'm sitting in the second row. He's sitting in the first row. And Michael comes over and go, high five, man. We're all good. We're all good. George Myra puts his hand up. Michael Irvin goes just like this and breaks his jaw. His teeth fell out of his mouth. Just broke his jaw. These are two All-Americans here. Bang. He hit the ground so hard he cracked his jaw. His other side of his jaw. Had to have it wired. He came up to me after and he goes, Sills, what side are you on? I go, I'm not on any side. You were a dick and he's stupid. You guys need to figure it out. He goes, what side are you on? I go, don't talk to me like that. You know I'm on your side. But don't be a dick. Crack the guy's jaw like that? What are you, fucking crazy? And he's like, am I wrong? I go, I didn't say you're wrong. You're wrong in going that far. You need to break his jaw. You fucking almost killed the guy. Almost killed him. I mean, I've never seen a punch like that in my life. He almost killed him. Boom. I was like, I picked him up. You know, we had to take him to the hospital. And I don't know, man. He was out. And he was in a coma or something. It was like really scary because I thought he killed him. Because when he hit the ground, he hit his head right there on the cement floor and blood everywhere, spurting out of his head, out of his mouth. I thought he killed him. Yeah. And Michael come to my room after all this, and I go, you're a dumb man. You almost killed the fucking guy. I go, really? Over music? You need to fucking control yourself, guy. Fucking go, this is bullshit. You know that's not right. So he sat down. He goes, we good? I go, Mike, this doesn't deter our friendship and the love we have for one another, but you can't fucking hit the guy like that. It's not cool. So I let him know. You know, we've been friends, like I said, since we were 19, and I've always had his back, but that wasn't cool. Broke his jaw, almost killed the guy. He hit him so fucking hard. Bang. I was like, yeah, that's not going to go well. Mouth was wired for 9 months. He played that year. Thank God. But, yeah, Michael almost killed the guy. Michael did that in a bar once, too. Guy started talking shit to him. I told him this. Yeah, you might not want to do that. The guy kept talking shit to him. I go, this guy's going to kill you. Mike was a really nasty, mean guy. And so enough, man, this guy said something. Mike hit him in the head with a pool stick and almost killed him there too. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, Michael Irvin was a very tough guy, man. And the reason he came to me was he knew the story about me throwing a guy out of a window. I didn't put up with a lot of shit back then either. And he's like, Sills, you threw a guy out a window? I go, yep. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We had a bunch of guys like that. We had a bunch of maniacs like that, man. Yeah, I got thrown out of Maryland because I threw a guy out a window. How do you think I got thrown out of Maryland? I threw him out a window, out of a first floor window. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, Sue, it's not very cool. You know, that's not something you wave around and you go, hey, look at me. That's not, No. I was at Maryland when I threw the guy out the window. Jimmy heard the story. He goes, did you really throw the guy out the window? And I go, yep. He goes, over what? I go, I don't want to tell you. He goes, tell me. I go, it was over a chick. He goes, and I heard you beat the other 4 guys up. I go, yes, I did. I was trying to throw them out the window, but I couldn't get them all out. I got one guy out. I couldn't get the other guys out. I knocked 4 of them out, and I threw the other guy out the window. I just pushed him right out the window, right on his head. He went ass backwards too. Bang! Yeah, I turned around, and I just started swinging. I think they hit me a couple times, but I cleaned house. My friends were laughing. I kicked their ass, and I kicked them within seconds. Yeah. No, it's not good. No. Okay. No, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was. No, I meant both Michael Irvin slapping his teammate. He didn't slap him. He punched him in the face, almost killed him. Slater will join us. Yeah. Go. Yes, sir. Holy shit. Jerome was an absolute maniac. So Jerome and I, where was this? It was up in Brooksville. And we went into a bar. He takes me into a bar, and this guy starts talking shit to Jerome. And so I'm sitting, then, we leave, and we go to a 7-Eleven. This is the only time I got close to being in prison. Not prison, but jail. We went to a 7-Eleven. And actually, this was down in Miami-Dade. And we were out, and we were at a party, and that guy shows up at the 7-Eleven. So sure enough, the guy starts talking shit. I'm sitting there, and he's got a buddy. And I'm going like this. Check it out. And I'm going like this. Hey, man, I'm going like, you don't like it? Leave. They asked me the question, douchebag. Living in the past, they asked me a question. And sure enough, we hit these guys. They were off-duty cops. So we get taken down to Dade County. They didn't put us in the can, but Jimmy Johnson gets called. And they came down, and Jimmy's fuming. We ran in that offseason. We must have ran for 3 months. Holy shit. They called Ed Hudak, the guy who does security today. And Jimmy come rolling in there, man. It was 3:00 in the morning. And he's like, they didn't put us in the cell. They put us in the office. And this is the closest I came. And I'm sitting there, and I go, because look, the cop came over, started pushing Jerome, and Jerome hit him and dropped him. I go, fuck. So I get out of the car. The other guy was going to jump Jerome. He started kicking him. I knocked that guy out. They were undercover cops or off-duty cops. That's what it was. They were off-duty cops. Ugh. That never got reported. That never did. Thank God. They took care of it all. And we show up the next day at spring practice. Jimmy comes walking over to both of us. And he's looking at us, and we're like, yeah, he goes, see me after practice. Sure enough, man, we got 3-hour practice. Jimmy's with us. Another hour running. We did that for 3 months. My stupid ass. I'm like this. Look at this. I'm sitting in the car. I'm sitting in the car like this, and I see the cop kick him. And I just go like this. God damn it. I get out of the car, I go over and knock the guy out. Yeah, they're off-duty cops. They take us. I got cuffed. No, I don't think we did. I think they just took us. And they took us down, and that's how that happened. Yeah. Tush push. Oh, here's another one. We got another one here. Jackie Slater's going to join us here in a couple minutes. We're going to effort our friend here in a minute. Double check here, making sure Jackie got everything here. One of the truly greatest. And by the way, he works on the Rams broadcast team. Just so you know, too. So, all right. I wrote this one down here. Biggest issues with the Eagle offense. Hurts, Patullo, maybe it's something else. No explosion plays. What is it? What's the issue? What would be the issue? What do you think? Kevin for sure. Nah, we're not going there. O-line Jalen, not play calling. Look at this. Breaking. Eagles trading a 2027 first-round pick for Kirk Cousins. No, you got the wrong team. That would be the 49ers trading for a quarterback, Kirk Cousins. The Eagles don't need a quarterback. You do. I think it starts with the O-line. I do too. Hey, I do too. I'm with you, Senor. The guy's, he's a 49er guy. If anybody's trading for a quarterback, it's the 49ers. It ain't the Eagles. I'm with you, man. I think it all starts with the offensive line, Austin. I do. I think it has everything to do with that O-line. No way. But he could get if you fucked with him. But no. Sweetest man you'll ever meet in your life. The greatest personalities of all time. But if you messed with him, you take your shot there with that. Hey, listen, and he give you the benefit of the doubt. He's not one of those like angry dudes walking around. No. Jerome was not like that. Jerome was very intense on the field, but he was not. He was not like this. How about this? You can always tell a guy. If Jerome got drunk, he was never an angry drunk. He was a funny guy. One of the funniest people you ever want to be around. Only in the Oklahoma game. Okay, well, that was a different case. And that Oklahoma game, he was psychotic. Hurts holds the ball and can't throw. Anticipation. That's right. They designed that play for that. They absolutely do. They designed that offense around his weaknesses. I disagree with Mike Gill. I disagree with that. They don't design that offense around his strengths. It's around his weaknesses. Dan, is Hurts a top 5 quarterback? Yeah. Winning has to be a part of the evaluation. Okay? It has to be. All right? Let me do this. If you can. Dan Sileo. So let's see if we can get him up here now. Let's see if we can get Jackie Slater on here. Hopefully we were able to catch up for a couple minutes with him. Yes, all of that is true. He holds the ball 2-1. But listen, winning has to be part of the evaluation. I have him 5th on my list. I don't believe, listen, the first 2 weeks, I think I had him 9th in his play. But when you're talking about overall quarterback play, and if you were picking the top 10 guys, Hurts is 5 for me. He's not going to deviate off that. Winning has to be part of the evaluation in how you look at a quarterback. Has to be part of it. Does he throw the ball better than the other guys? No. Is he good in the pocket? He's okay. Does he take too many sacks? Yes. Is he concerned about turnovers? Of course he is, like every quarterback. The Eagles need to win 7 straight games to break the NFL record for the most consecutive wins, breaking 23-win record by Peyton Manning and the Colts. I don't think the Eagles care about that record. Just like the undefeated thing is stupid too. Nobody cares about that. Win a Super Bowl. This is not college football. Nobody gives a shit about having the longest winning streak. That stuff, like, you know what? If it evolves into that, that's cool. I asked a question to the Miami Dolphin guys, like Zonk and them dudes years ago when I was down in Miami. I said, how important was that thing to you that you guys have the last football team to be undefeated in the NFL's history? You know what he said? We didn't really know we were undefeated until we got to the New England game. The New England game was the last regular season game of the year. That's when it kind of mattered to them. And they thought that they wanted it. Because for posterity, they would want to have something like that. Remember something. The year that they won the Super Bowl, they beat the Redskins that year 14-7, I believe in LA, at the Super Bowl. And it came down. Can you imagine you had gone undefeated just like the Patriots team did? They went undefeated and you get beat in the Super Bowl. Who gives a shit? Would you rather, right? All right. This is one of my favorite people on the planet. I got to tell you guys, he really is, man. 20 years. The great Jackie Slater played in the NFL. And by the way, I was so glad to hear this. And he's going to love this because one of my dear friends and a guy I played against, believe it or not, I played against Jackie when Jackie was in Anaheim. He was in Anaheim. And guess who's now made the list for potential Hall of Fame? Dennis Hara has made that list. And that offensive line that Jackie played on was enormous. And I told the last time he was on, my biggest lesson as a freshman I was taught, or a rookie I was taught when I got to the NFL, was the legendary headbutt of Jackie Slater. Bang! I'll tell you what, my chiclets were shaking in my head when Jackie dropped that bomb on my head. Without further ado, Hall of Famer, 20-year veteran, one of the greats of all time, our friend Jackie Slater joins us now. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. That introduction gave me a headache. Listening to you.
Hey, man. I mean, listen, let's get right to it here. I mean, how you feeling about this team here? I mean, you know, they're getting out to a good start. Whatever you think of Pro Football Focus, they got the Los Angeles Rams now as the second best team in the NFL. I know it's early, too early to make any kind of assessments. You and I know getting into October, that's kind of when you get a chance to see more of your football team. But what do you make of the first 8 quarters of the season with the Rams?
Well, they've been nothing shy. Spectacular. It's a blind and a lot of ankles. One of their starting left guard was out for a while, and then their starting right guard was out for a while. Rob Havenstein, the right tackle, was nicked up. So they got a little bit nicked up, but these guys have managed to continue to compete. And I'm really proud of the way their offensive line is playing. Now, on the other side of the ball, I had a long phone call with Rosie Greer the other day. He's the longest living Ram player in history at this point in time, and he was a member of the Fearsome Foursome. And I asked him, I said, you know, I don't want to insult you, Rosie, or anything. I said, but this group of guys here now. I mean, I met Lamar Lundy and I obviously Rosie, and I played with Merlin Olsen, and you know, Roger Brown. I got to meet. That was the Fearsome Foursome was a dominant group of people. But when you take a look at what the Rams' young defensive front is doing now, I mean, I'm thinking the Fearsome Foursome 2.0. These guys are just Byron Young and Jerry Verse and Fisk, Braden Fisk, and the conductor. Man, these guys are bringing heat. They ain't playing around. I wouldn't want to have to deal with them as a unit because they're impressive.
Wow, what a compliment you just gave him there. I mean, by the way, my uncle at one time started his career, Andy
They're still
Robicelli,
young.
as a
They're
Los
still young
Angeles
now. I don't
Ram.
want to get the.
He started as a Ram there too, and then he went over to the New York Giants. But
They're
really,
they're still young, and I don't want to. They're very impressive.
What do you make of Verse? I mean, I tell you what, the people in Philadelphia got a full handful of him. I mean, he is absolutely a great-looking pass rusher. I mean, are you impressed with him?
Oh, very impressed. I mean, the kid just flat brings it, and they're listed as linebackers, but man, these guys are 260 pounds. That's the defensive end in my book all day long. They have a very lot of versatility in their defense. The way they play it, they play these guys at linebacker. They bring in another big body, and then now he's a defensive end, and they do a good job of mixing things up and varying their fronts, putting these guys explosive. And one of the things that I noticed about their edge guys, Byron Young and Jerry Verse, they're not looking. These guys are looking to blow up tackles. They're not trying to ease around them. And I mean, they attack. If you notice, they are some of the most explosive pass rushers in pro football right now, and it's because they believe in taking that direct, straight line to the pass. They're not trying to fool you, man. They're going directly at the angle that gets them to the quarterback, and that's what I think is making them special.
All right. We're based in Philly, Jackie, and I got to ask you about the tush push. What do you make of that play? I mean, are you a fan of it? Do you not like it? What do you make of it?
I think the tush push is genius, and I think that those, over the years in the National Football League, there's been a ton of different things that come along that had people all in a quandary about, it's unfair and how, we got to legislate this out of the game. Well, the way you get special plays out of the game is you figure out a way to stop them. And so that's what I mean, the journey to figure out how to stop the play should be something that we all anxiously look forward to happening. It might not be for another 2 years, but don't legislate the play right out because these guys have figured out how to do something special and they're consistently using it to their advantage. Figure out how to stop it. Some of you smart defensive coordinators, come up with that.
Hey, I love it, man. What's your take on Jalen Hurts as a quarterback? A lot of people have different opinions of him. What do you make of him?
Listen, any man that can squat 600 pounds and say he is a quarterback and be willing to take some of the shots I've seen him take, holding on to the ball at times, trying to get guys open, wait till guys get open, and then to do the tush push and then use that like 600 pounds of force that he has in the lower body, driving into the line of scrimmage. And then the other thing I saw just recently, somebody showed me online that they went to the line of scrimmage against the Kansas City Chiefs, and the big defensive tackle was yelling.
Chris Jones.
He was yelling, we held you guys to under 100 yards. And nobody said anything but the quarterback. And he immediately put the young man in his place by letting him know the truth of the matter is the cold hard fact that you must deal with, young man, is that we win in the game.
I love this, man. Jackie, you're awesome here. What do you make of the offensive side of the ball? Now you've added Devontae Adams. What dimension do you think that he's brought to the offense for Matthew Stafford and for Sean McVay?
Well, for Sean McVay, I mean, he's tickled to death. He's got another toy. I think that Puka Nacua, and if we've noticed in the first two games alone, Puka Nacua has basically, done all of what Cooper Kupp did. That done run in the last game. Cooper Kupp ran that play all the time, but I don't quite remember him getting the 45-yard touchdown out of it. So, Puka Nacua is quietly, putting to rest all of the doubt that many Ram fans had about the decision to let Cooper Kupp go on to another team. Now, Devontae, he's a horse of a different color. This guy he can get a little bit deeper down the field than Cooper. He presents a different skill set relative to. I mean, he can catch the ball, he can get open. but he can run a different.
Hopefully we are still here with our friend Jackie Slater here. Maybe a little bit where we have to connect again a little bit here. There we go, Jackie. So
Okay.
he's able to get a little more open. You think he's got more versatility to him than what Cooper Kupp brought to the offense, no?
Well, I couldn't hear you.
So, Jack, you think that Devontae Adams here, hopefully we're able to catch up here. Maybe we can catch because I'd like to close it up here with him here too, because I want to get a little bit of Matthew Stafford here. Let's see if we can see if he can hear us now here.
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Okay. Hey, so you really think that Devontae Adams brings more diversity to that offense because he can be a more of a deep threat than what Cooper can? Is that what you're getting to?
Well, I'm not saying that I think obviously, yeah, he could be a little bit more of a deep threat than Cooper, but I think he's just another great weapon that Sean McVay added to his arsenal that can run, the entire route tree, and you can use him opposite of a good possession type receiver like a Cooper Kupp or a Puka Nacua. So I think McVay's tickled to death to have those guys, on the field at the same time.
Couple last questions for you here, Jack. Do you think this team has the same skill set that kind of looks like the Super Bowl team of a couple years ago? Do you think this team could get to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game? Do they have the talent, in your opinion?
Well, I think so. I think they've started off a little bit slow and been nicked up a little bit in their offensive line. I think that's the biggest issue that I'm concerned about at this point. And then last week, I thought that there were a couple of times, where I think you could have grown those men a little bit more when it's 1st and 10 on the 3-yard line and you throw 3 straight passes. I think there's a place for getting a guy like Devontae the ball in his hands at critical times. But I also think that growing a young offensive line and letting them believe that you're going to trust in them and their ability to get it done for 3 yards on the ground on the goal line in the run game, I think that's an important part of the game too. So I think McVay is growing a young roster with a couple of unique veterans here and there, but he's growing a young roster, and so far they've been playing at a level that it's far and away above their age and experiences.
Okay, last question here for you. Great respect for you and how long you played the game and at the level that you played the game. In Philly, they got Lane Johnson. What your take on him and what kind of player you think he's been so far in the National Football League? And you watch him play. This guy is like he has some traits. Now again, it's right tackle, left tackle stuff, but boy, he's just a consistent guy, man. Your takeaway on Lane?
Well, I'll tell you. I guess it's been about maybe 5-6 years ago. Lane Johnson came out to Southern California, and we spent about a week together. And I have a picture of me in my photo album, and I weighed at that particular time about 315 pounds. And I was standing next to Lane when they took this picture, and it looked like I was standing next to a giant. This guy was huge, and it was just amazing to see. I'm having to scurry about now because I got people coming to do some work.
I'll get you out of here in a sec here. So Lane, Lane's a big dude, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a big guy. And, the thing about him is that he's a guy that has all the physical attributes. But if you look closely and you watch him play, he's a technically oriented guy. He wants to solve problems, with his skill set, with his technique. And that's the thing that's most impressive to me about him.
Absolutely. I love it. Hey, Jack, I appreciate your time. Have a great time with your family. You always find time for me, my friend. God bless you, man. And by the way, Rosie Greer played with my uncle on that New York Giants defense back in the day when they had Cat Cavage and them guys, and they had all them dudes back there, Mozaleski. So he played with them. And so I knew Rosie a long time ago, man. I'm so happy to hear. How's he doing? Is he doing well?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's 93 years old. He's the oldest living former Ram player. And the first thing he said to me, the first thing he asked me is what he said. Are you following Jesus? That's the first and the last thing that he asked me. So he's a really committed guy that way, and still in his right mind, and just an amazing guy to talk to.
I love it, man.
He really. I'm 70 years old now, 71 years old, and when he began to talk about the Secretary of Defense, Deacon Jones, and the head slap that he did, he was almost sorry that he invented it and Deacon perfected it, because so many former players have been having these head trauma injuries, been associated, and he thinks that they started it. He thinks that they started it, and it just got worse and got out of control, and people are suffering because of it. But he has no apologies about the fact that they terrified offenses for years, more so than the Doomsday defense, more so than the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain, more so than the New York Sack Exchange. None of those guys were doing it like the Fearsome Foursome. And like you said earlier, to even think that the current Rams front four should be compared to them and considered, the Fearsome Foursome 2.0 is a major compliment to these young guys that are playing for the Rams right now.
Jackie, real quick, don't you think Rosie was the first 300-pound defensive tackle? Like, was it? I know Roger Brown. God bless his soul, man. That dude could play some ball, and I'll tell you what. You talk about one of the most underrated players.
And don't forget Merlin Olsen. Don't forget about Merlin Olsen.
He was that's crazy that you played with him too one time here.
I played my first year was his final season. His 15th season was my first season.
Wasn't Rosie like one of the first big 300-pound defensive tackles?
Yes, he was. That can move now. Don't get him confused. Yeah, he'll be the first one to tell you that he wasn't slow. He was quick, he was fast, and he played with great leverage. And if you see Rosie the way he's built, he wasn't real broad and wide-shouldered. He got broader as he went down, and then he got narrow. But he was very, very explosive. Very explosive.
Hey, Jackie, thank you so much, and God bless you and your family, man. You always find time for me. Thank you so much, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, well, take care. Bye-bye.
You got it. The great Jackie Slater, NFL Hall of Famer, truly one of the great people. My wife loves this guy. By the way, does anybody have an idea who Rosie Greer is? How about what he said about the tush push? He says it's genius. It's genius. If that's not a soundbite, I don't know what is. He said it's genius. All right? Yeah, Slater's an enormous dude. Do you know who Rosie Greer is? You guys know? Does anybody know who Rosie Greer is? Let's see how smart some of you are. It's political. Anybody know who Rosie Greer is? By the way, I'm so happy to hear that he's doing well. No, too young, okay? Let's see here. See, I want to get the other guy's name. I want to double check here. Greer. Let's see here. Who was the other guy with him? I got to remember who the other guy was. UCLA. Track star. Let me get that. There it is. So I'll tell you. Rosie Greer and Rayford Johnson were in the hotel when Robert Kennedy was shot and killed and murdered. And they tackled Sirhan Sirhan. They were the bodyguards that tackled Sirhan Sirhan. How's that? Okay? So, well, Xander, let me take a quick timeout because I've got to pay some more bills here. I got to do one more. He tackled Sirhan. So let's do this. Guys, Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America. Folks, do me a favor. Make sure you guys end up checking out my friends. If you have ever been injured, okay, ever injured, check out my friends at Morgan & Morgan. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Awesome to get Jackie Slater on, man. Fantastic ball player. Hey, by the way, stay tuned for This Week in Pro Football. Xander's got the reins for that show. Ice Cube will be on with us tomorrow. We'll have a little fun with Ice Cube. We'll talk Rams some more. Getting you closer to that football game this weekend. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Xander, Joe, thank you. We'll see you on the flip side.